Man, I love seeing plus 15 decapitation on the screen.
Oh yeah,
That's a good way to start any show.
that's the screenshot that I used for mine too.
I like saying plus 60 in game.
Well, aren't you just amazing? I'm assuming it's lots of little score multipliers.
We'll get into that. I bet.
Should we cue the cat?
Cue the cat, man.
Cue the cat.
Because I want to say, what's up to Woody the Bluebird? Darth Vader says, you will all kneel to me and submit to the dark side.
Why does Darth sound like Bane every week?
Because I can't do Darth Vader. Robert Sullivan says, okay, I hope I did not mess up. I bought the game Crisis VRigade 2 for $20, not thinking it might go on sale. So Brian and AJ and Dave, did I do good? You did good, Robert.
You did damn
Patty,
good.
And we will tell you why. Patty and hello, Charlie Murphy. What's up, man? Johnny Ripe out the stray cat. Orseek, I am Orseek. He says, let's go. Hibsy the Game Cat, our insider source that, I don't know. Joe Grover, the effing Game Cat. Joe Grover. Gamer 613. Stephen Cardwell, David Moore, Nick Mulo. Hard to get what is up. Dennis Manguso, one of the Firewall winners. What's up, dude? Herbert West, hello. Dead's the Pumpkin Patch Kid. And Kyle, PSVR, WIR, gaming.
A fist bump to you all from all of us here at Without Parole.
Oh, yeah. Got so much to do, so much to talk about. Sinner 669, the unholy Game Cat.
Well, in that case,
Brian, I gotta float a suggestion.
Ooh, what's
How
that?
long till we can replace the intro cat with Tornado? Let's get a Tornado intro where she's creeping slowly towards you. You can probably get her to do that.
One thing that I've learned about Tornado, and apparently cats in general since getting a cat, is that they are all about doing whatever they want to do, and not at all about
1,000%.
doing what you want them to do.
Yeah.
So Tornado, I was like, man, Tornado, come hang out. And then she's like, I'm bored of you. I'm gonna go hang out by myself, and that's why she's not here right now. I'm like, I don't know where she is. She's over there somewhere.
She'll pop in at some point. Hopefully, Carlos comes to my door. I want him to say hello to Tornado at some point.
We could have a virtual kitty meeting.
That's what I like.
I like it. This is PSVR GamesCast Live, where we film live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We bring it to you live because that's what live means, right here, right now. That's it, man. It's like real simple stuff. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole. And to my right, the boys, Dave from Dave's Station VR.
What's going on? Speaking of the boys, season 2 coming soon.
And
exciting stuff.
I got to watch season 1, I guess, to be excited about season 2. And that guy to the far right-hand side of the screen.
Like it.
Oh, good. I bet if you like the boys, tell me in the comments. Is it my kind of show? You let me know.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Dude, that's what we do here. I'm just holding out my arm real long here. That guy in the far right-hand side of the screen, AJ, from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
My man.
What is up, Brian, Dave, Game Cats, everybody in the chat? What a freaking crazy week. Amazing time for PSVR. And it's only going to get better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited, man. If it's only going to get better, this has already been an amazing week. And if it's going to get better, I don't know how it's going to get better. Although I guess we can talk about dreams a little bit at some point. That's going to make everything better. It's going to make everything better. Better get a bucket. All right, guys. I think we should probably get a little housekeeping out of the way. Let's start with telling everybody they should join the Discord. The link is in the description. Guys, all sorts of great conversations happening over at the Discord 24/7. If you haven't used Discord before, don't worry, neither had I. And it is where I spend all of my time now. So click that link. We all hang out there, and you should too.
Yeah, we summon Cthulhu after midnight. It's good times.
Yeah, I heard that there was some craziness going on that I missed out on.
You heard? No.
Was that in voice chat?
You heard nothing.
You guys summoned him in voice chat?
No, nothing.
That's the other thing I've been doing lately. Voice chat is like, like you hang out. I hate it. I didn't want to use Discord for voice chat. I was like, oh man, I talk to you guys a lot. I talk to everybody a lot. I don't need to like go and use Discord. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Pretty cool. Yeah, and you can also stream stuff and have people watch you while you're playing stuff. So a couple people, Game Cats out there, have been doing that, and it's kind of fun to just hang out and shoot the shit while you watch somebody play. Like, what is that? Was it Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight is
Dead
what
by
Mr.
Daylight.
Sonic's been playing. You were playing what?
I played Bloodstained Ritual last night, that new Castlevania kind of game.
Nice.
And you get points for talking. You actually rank up in the Discord for just talking, which is
I didn't
fun.
know that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. You can do exclamation rank, and it'll tell you what rank you are.
I think Brian's rank 5 on his own Discord server. I'm pretty sure.
Is that good or bad? I mean,
decent. I feel like
you want to be
higher,
number one. You want to be like top 5, top 10.
I don't want to be number one because
I'm going to call out whoever's number one right now.
I feel like Belramio is number one. I feel like he is there more than anyone. Like I don't know what his sleep schedule is because he seems to always be there no matter what time of day it is. So I guess that's how you become number one: is you give up on sleep, and you replace sleep with Discord. That's a thing.
Sounds about right.
All right, guys. That's probably a bit enough housekeeping for now.
Yeah, way too much.
Yeah, make sure to do that, whatever, Patreon. You guys know the drill by now. If you don't, everyone's like, some people are like, is there any way to like donate money to the channel? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard there's a way. I've heard there's a way. But, you know, we're not going to bore with that right now because I feel like we've got an action-packed show on the way. And I think we should begin the show the way we begin every show with a little game of should we or shouldn't we. When we put 60 seconds up on the clock up on the counter the way that Jeremy likes it. It's our time down here to tell you, the loyal game cats out there, whether you should or should not be playing and or watching and or doing the things that we've been doing and or watching and or playing. I'm not sure if that was the right order. In 60 seconds or less. Should we or shouldn't we? Who wants to go first?
I volunteer AJ.
Wow, that was... God damn it.
I volunteer myself, Dave.
All right. Well, then we're all in agreement here.
All right. On your mark. Get Des. Go.
All right, so I got to give a big shout out to something I was watching. It is PSVR related, however.
Whoa.
I was yesterday. That guy is Will VR. Did an 8-hour live stream, which actually ended up being 9 hours.
Yeah,
and he was doing tons of giveaways, and it was an absolute blast. Tons of game cats were there to show support. Some of them were like there for damn near the whole time. You guys. Crazy, man. But he did play like stuff like Dreadhalls, Crisis Brigade 2, Freediver, a whole bunch of stuff. And it was just an excellent stream. And it was a lot of fun hanging out, man. And just you killed it, Will. Great job, man. Doing us proud. And that guy is Will, Space VR. Absolute should we.
All right.
That you did. You get 10 more seconds.
Will.
He really likes squishies, but he didn't play squishies.
I mean,
that's awesome. How did he hold off on playing squishies for 9 whole hours?
Dude, he did. Okay, well, I don't have any more time, but Beat Saber Master.
Oh, he's pretty good. Yeah. Do we want to sneak in these tips before we get to the next?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
First one comes to us from Elbert.
Don't tweet me!
Oh yeah. 20 big bucks. God damn it, guys! Shut up.
He's talkative today.
Here's some monies after living at work. Living at work. Oh, he's been living at work. Okay, I got it. I hope you guys in the Game Cats are doing swell. Heart, fist bump, devil horns. When's the next Rec Room session? Guy with shades on.
Good question.
I think we got a Rec Room session lined up for this weekend. Justin is debuting some new room that he built.
Oh, snap.
And it's he's always building new rooms at this point. I think he said Friday or Saturday night. There was some discussion in the multiplayer thread on our PSN chat or whatever, but then I think Discord will you can find that in Discord too. Next one. Sorry,
is it Halloween yet? I want it to be Halloween, man. That's when we do huge Halloween parties in Rec Room. You guys make sure you have Rec Room. It's free. And it's an amazing game. Let Justin Credible and some of the game cats show you around. It's amazing. So you want that in time for October.
Who gave you the right to squeeze me?
That is for Joe Grover, the effing game cat, $30. And he's using this to take his stand about The Boys. He says, The Boys is a must-watch, Brian. Superheroes doing whatever the fuck they want. Flawed characters. If I had superpowers, I'd probably end up doing some pretty crazy stuff myself. Like breaking Tiger King out of prison? Nah. All right. Thank you, Joe, as always.
That actually sold me on it more than I think anything else has ever sold me on it. That's flawed characters, superheroes. Is it like Chronicle? Chronicle is one of my favorite movies.
I haven't seen Chronicle. It is more like the Misfits, but these guys are like a little more. I don't want to ruin too much, but they're a little more fucked up than any similar characters in a show like this.
Wow. Okay, because the Misfits are pretty fucked up.
They present to the public this face of like, we are the superheroes. We're the best people. We're protecting you, and they all have huge fans, followings, and stuff. But they're actually like complete pieces of shit, like really, really bad.
So it's like us.
Great.
We have fans, but no one knows how fucking messed up we really are.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right, Dave, are you up next, or do you need some more time? Because I can go.
I think I can go next.
All right, then on your mark, get Des, and go.
Okay. Oh, here's what it is. The other day, I watched sort of randomly, not on purpose, but I saw Austin Powers, the original Austin Powers, when I was over at a friend's place. And I thought, this is not going to hold up. There's no way this is going to hold up. Surprise, it's actually still pretty funny. I don't know about the sequels or anything, but the original Austin Powers has like so many clever jokes that I didn't get as a kid, because there's plenty of stuff to make kids laugh, but there's so much like nuanced kind of satire of these kind of spy movies that I wasn't familiar with when I first watched it. So like as an adult, you go back and you're like, oh, okay, this is a really good spoof on, you know, this thing from James Bond or this thing from another spy movie. And it's silly as hell, but it still holds up pretty well. And it's sad that we don't see Mike Myers anymore, although he kind of fell off the deep end with like Love Guru and stuff. But yeah, he was in his prime. It's good shit. And I rewatching it. Austin Powers, baby.
So that's a should.
Do I make you horny, baby?
Like it was pretty politically incorrect back in the day. So like that's the stuff that always worries me, right? It's like
everyone around him knows that it's really politically incorrect, and he starts feeling sheepish about it towards the end. He's like, maybe I should tone this down a little bit. So it's like it's in the kind of narrative of the film, yeah. Right. But it's still really funny.
Because I don't get worked up about that shit, but sometimes it's like there will be people who are like, this is making me really uncomfortable, and it didn't 20 years ago. You know, I'm like, you know,
it's also silly. He's like a caricature, obviously, like super over the top. So,
right. All right, on my mark, get Des and go. So last night I was talking about this a little bit on Discord with AJ. I re-signed up for Shudder, one of the Amazon channels you can get for like $6 or $7 a month. It's like super cheap. It's all horror, and I watched quite a few movies last night because it's way better than the last time I signed up for it. So there were a lot more selections to choose from, things I'd never heard of, some really recent things, upwards of 2018, 2019, 2020, and the production value is pretty high on some of them. And I was like, how come I've never heard of any of these? And the one that I really enjoyed, ended up really enjoying late last night, I couldn't even go to bed. I tried to go to bed at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I stayed up till 5 watching this thing called Ruin Me. And Ruin Me is like these guys and girls go on this extreme kind of horror movie camp out, where it's like supposed to, you know, people are supposed to fuck with them and stuff. And of course, shit's fan, everything goes wrong. And it was awesome. It keeps you guessing until the end. You know, and a lot of these things, sometimes the end sucks, but it was good. It's a should we.
All right.
Wow.
What was that noise? I don't know. Tommy, I'm scared. I'm going to go check it out. I'm going to beat this guy's ass. It's like every single one. You drunk. Oh, my God. I love those movies too, man. I know. Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure.
Quick tip here from Ben Schroeder.
Because then you get to see them all die. Oh, good. Ben Schroeder.
Okay. Ben Schroeder, $2.99 says, put this towards Tornado's Treat Fund. Little do you know, Ben Schroeder, that fund is totally like full to the brim already.
Oh man,
because they sent Brian home with like boxes and boxes of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
think he's going to be set for months.
I don't think I'm ever going to need another kitten toy ever. Like, I mean, just like everything, like stuff with catnip in it, stuff chased after. When I say like hundreds of toys, I'm thinking like literally probably around like 150. Like in terms of quantity, you take out every single thing, balls that you shake with like, you know, the jingle and stuff, so much stuff. So I really, really appreciate it. Obviously, she's not going to be crazy expensive to take care of. I don't think. I think it's going to be awesome. She's been great, and I think, you know, just like food and treats and stuff, it's like it's going to be great. She seems very chill. Doesn't need much from me. All right, but I think we should probably get this show on the road, guys. What do you think? Time to get this thing moving?
Oh yeah, man! We got tons of stuff to talk about, man. We've got some PS5 stuff we're going to start with. Of course, some new game releases this week. Some surprise stuff that happened today, and then of course more and more announcements going on later. So first, let's start with the PS5, and this comes via Nikkei Asian Review, who basically wrote an article. This comes via Chang Ting Feng and Lali Li and Hideki Ryukin. And they basically said Quote, Facebook and Sony are preparing to increase the output of upcoming gaming devices by as much as 50%, showing how big tech companies are profiting from consumers' thirst for home entertainment during the global coronavirus pandemic. The Nikkei Asian Review has learned. End quote. We actually, Brian, you and I on Viewer Takeover earlier, we talked about how PS4 sold around 7 million PS4s in the first couple months.
First fiscal year. What was that, from like November to March 15th, I think?
Right. And this time, Sony said back in the spring that they were going to only make 5 million units, something like that. So that was less. They have basically doubled that, and they are reporting that they're going to be now making around 9 million units from the roughly 6 million units it had planned in the spring. Sources familiar with the matter said.
This is refreshing, right? I mean, a lot of people were freaking out. Like recently, everyone was sitting there on Amazon refreshing, thinking that we had a possible leak when it came to a pre-order date, and now it just doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. It just seems like, man, if you want a PlayStation 5, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to get one. Dave, you weren't part of this Viewer Takeover discussion. What's your 2 cents on this?
Sorry, I got called with a work thing here for a sec while you were talking. We were talking about the increase in units of production that we're talking about.
Yeah, do you think it's going to be pretty easy to get a PlayStation 5 pre-order at launch?
I hope so. I wonder if that delays the timeline at all. Like if that's why we didn't get that supposed pre-order and price and everything. And I wonder if that affects the price at all too, like the scale at which they're making them. Components get cheaper as you build more of them. So if they're building way more, then theoretically they could get a better deal on the parts. So it could actually drive the price down too, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean, I think the only net positives here. I can't really see a downside to this. It's good stuff.
Don't get too excited, but there is a rumor.
Oh God,
that the price for the digital is going to be $399 and the disc drive $450.
I can't. I just can't see this happening. I can't. We've gone back and forth on this quite a bit. I've gone back and forth on what I think my price would be, and I really
have a pizza bet. We have a pizza bet, right?
We do have a pizza bet, and I'm going to ask you guys: do you want to make any revisions on the pizza bet? You want to stick with what we got? I don't remember even what I said the price would be.
I was $450. Dave was $500, and you were $550.
So we're talking about the digital is the low model.
Actually, at that time, I don't think we knew there was a digital. Yeah, maybe we'll have to fix that again because we didn't know about it.
Right now, I am really at. I'm struggling so hard because I don't see Sony going with a $50 price tag. Like a something 50. It's gonna be 4 or 5. And I'm trying to figure out what the difference between the digital and the physical is going to be. Me and David Cross, we're talking about how much a drive actually costs Sony is like $50. It's like not that much money, but for some reason in my head, I'm thinking that the difference is going to be $100 difference, not $50 difference. So I'm around like $450 and $550 right now for the two models, and that just again doesn't work for me in my head. I don't think Sony's going to charge something $50. For me, it's going to be $400 and $500, but I can't get past this. For some reason, I'm sticking with $450 and $550, even though in my head it feels unlikely.
Fair enough.
To Dave's point too, I do think this could be maybe the production might take a minute, so it could actually be like a staggered. Like they're not making all 9 million at once. Maybe it's like the first 5 million at first, and then the second 5, around estimated 5 million later on.
Gorilla Jones says, if you buy the digital version, you're a moron. I want to buy it just so he calls me a moron.
Yeah.
That's cool. Whatever.
I
don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Do we need more reasons to call you a moron?
No.
I think we got plenty.
Yeah, no, I think we're all up on that. Yeah. We're full up.
All right, what's our next news story?
Ooh, okay, so my dude Brythian from Brythian Plays, former guy from Jack of All Controllers, he said that he brought up a good point that Ghost of Tsushima comes out this week, and it is the last. He says basically on Twitter, quote, since the final first-party game has been rated for PS4, here's the top 5 highest-rated PlayStation Studios titles via Metacritic. Number 1 is Last of Us. Number 2 is God of War. Number 3, Last of Us Part 2. Number 4 is Uncharted. Number 5, however, is Astrobot Rescue Mission on PSVR with a 90, solid 9.0 on Metacritic. Guys, that is the highest rated PSVR game. That's the 5th highest PlayStation 4 game. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's great. I think it's deserving of that. I will say there's probably some games that I would rate higher, but as far as mass appeal and like not having any issues with the game, like I can't really define any issues with Astrobot other than like I wish there was more of it.
Too much joy?
Yeah, I was too happy when I played it. God damn it, I want to be miserable. So,
do you think it can be objectively argued, or do you think it could be seen as the objectively like best PSVR game?
No.
Maybe like if you put it in context of like for the most people, you know what I mean? Like having a wide audience and being a very high level of quality where like anybody could look at this and say, oh, that's pretty cool. Whereas like, there's gamers who aren't going to like the Walking Deads of the world and stuff like that, the Resident Evil 7s. Stuff
right. Who are these people?
Well, they're out there.
Yeah. Well, but don't forget about the people who claim that like there's no place for third person games in VR, and there's no place for DualShock games in VR, right? So it's like if you want to talk about crazy people out in the world that don't like Resident Evil or don't like Saints and Sinners, well, there are crazy people who don't like third person platformers or DualShock games. So like this doesn't have quite the mass appeal that you might think it does. There's a lot of people who have zero interest in this whatsoever. People who think Mario games are just for kids. And so, when you have an aesthetic like this, it's very possible to say you're alienating people who want adult games. So that's three audiences right there that wouldn't like Astrobot. Although Metacritic, kind of proves otherwise.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is when it comes to critics also, like, there's not a video game critic out there who would be like, Mario is baby shit. Like, it's for kids. Like, if you're a real hardcore, enthusiast, you've been reporting on this stuff, writing about this stuff, you understand Mario is totally valid and, like, really awesome, even if you're an adult. Right. So I think critics, don't come at it the same way that some people that I've put out there who are like, this is for kids.
Agreed. And in the same way, I would say that critics say the same thing about RE7 and Saints and Sinners. They're like, you don't have to be a zombie fan. You don't have to be a horror game to like those. Those are just solid fucking games from top to bottom. Yeah.
So good on you, Astrobot. 20 PSVR Without Parole 2018 Game of the Year, by the way, award winner. But anyways, Rythian also mentioned that there's possible conference coming before. There's a rumor for a state of play in August, right? After the Xbox thing at the end of this month. He also said that he believes that there will be, as long as nothing gets changed or goes crazy, that there will be an event or some announcements July 31st at the last day of this month. And it will actually have some PSVR stuff included.
So we're all taking the 31st off from work. Is that what we're doing?
We are all taking the 31st off. It'll probably, it sounds like,
that sounds good.
It sounds like it's maybe not like a state, that'll be the state of play. This sounds more like just some announcements, probably comes via the blog, the PlayStation blog, their social media outlets, stuff like that.
If it's big shit, man, then stay tuned. We'll have GamesCast Live Part 2 because it's on a Friday instead of a Thursday. So that's that could be a thing. Real quick.
So finally, good.
Just because we're talking about the top games and Astrobot specifically, we've been getting a few comments, voice cracked, from some viewers, some of the cats, about our next top 25 list. And I can't believe it's almost time for that, guys.
Oh God!
So
is it really?
It is
already.
Yeah,
it was yesterday.
it feels like it was earlier today. It's So we're actually coming up on the 3 months since the last one was published. But I got to say, because of everything that's happening toward the end of this month, we want to make sure that Pistol Whip gets in there, that Dreams VR gets in there, that they have a chance. So I would say that whatever the first week in August is, we should plan on having, so that'd be Thursday, August 6th, we should plan on having our top 25 debate that GamesCast.
Let me double check that that's not a work night for me, because I'm looking at the calendar right now and it might be. So I just want to make sure before we tell everybody that that's the day.
Okay. Well,
if I'm only here for an hour, there's no way we're going to get through.
Absolutely not. So
like a 5-hour
we could totally do it on the 30th of this month as well. Because Pistol Whip comes out on the 28th, right? So we might get a little recency bias for that.
Does that give us enough time to accurately put it in context? I mean, 2 days after it comes out, that's when we had No Man's Sky. We were sort of like, can we put it this high because we're really hyped because it just came out?
I'm okay.
How will we feel next time around? Yeah.
As I've said before, I love recency bias. I think it kind of puts every top 25 in its place in time. We go, oh man, remember this when we were super hyped on this game? That's why it was so high up. That's why Golem was number 5 or 6 or something. So yeah, so I'm like, if the 6th doesn't work for you, let's do the 30th, and so plan on that, and then of course the following week we'll have the actual video live. So if anyone who's curious about that, anyone who's looking forward to a ridiculously long, infuriating debate, that we'll be doing that soon.
Love it. All right. So finally, for the last PS5 news.
Yes,
nudes.
Finally, we're getting what we want.
Nudes have leaked.
We took the white part off the inside of the now it's the black part in the middle.
Live PS5 nudes via Jeff Keighley and the Summer Games Fest. Tomorrow at noon, they will be revealing the
nudes.
They will be revealing the first hands-on demonstration of the DualSense, and they've already teased a couple pictures. He posted something on Twitter, and he was like, he was basically like, oh, this AR stuff is great, and then he like grabs it, and he's like, oh, but yeah. So I'm actually curious just to see like what he'll be playing with it, like. I'm hoping to see like a game he's playing with it. Maybe like
I hope he's not just
playroom
playing around with it and showing it off.
Yeah.
I am excited to see more about it, although one person in the Twitter replies kind of summed up how I think some people might feel about this, which is like, oh, I can't wait until next week when you do a reveal of the HDMI cable that comes in the box too. Like, it's like not as exciting as a lot of other things that we could be seeing. So
sure.
It's cool, but it's not world bending or anything. I want to tell you real quick, the 6th is a work day for me. That's my next work day. So
all right, let's shoot for the 30th then, guys. We that we'll play the crap out of Pistol Whip over the hopefully we'll have it early, and then that'll mean that recency bias will be even less.
In that case, I'm definitely taking the 31st off to recover because that's going to be, woof. That's gonna be wild.
Everyone needs to drink heavily after that.
Yeah.
All right, so I can't wait to see that. Like I said, I want to see gameplay the most. But all right, so we do have like a lot of news to get to and stuff. But because Dave is limited on time today, we want to talk about the 2 big games that came out this week at the very least while we got them. And we are going to start with the Meatgrinder.
So the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Meatgrinder update.
The Meatgrinder.
Also,
which actually is only called Trials in the game.
Yeah, that was
there's no mention of Meatgrinder anywhere.
Well, it's the Meatgrinder update, but the Meatgrinder update brings with it, the easy mode. You can list all that stuff while I get this shit working here.
Yeah. So this is a free update that dropped the other day. No cost. If you own the game, any version, you got it. And it adds, like AJ said, this trial mode, which is like a score-based kind of horde mode. So waves of enemies come at you, and it's really goddamn challenging. As someone who beat the game, I was on my toes the entire time because you feel like you're starting from scratch, and the what's the word for it? Like the stakes are higher. You know what I mean? You start with pretty much nothing. You don't have recipes until you find some of them in the world, and the ones you do have at start, like you can't afford unless you start doing some real cool shit. AJ, what did you think about this?
Yeah, so we'll start with the trials mode itself, of course. Yeah. I think this was something that everybody asked for. They kept saying, we want some horde mode, something like that. They kept saying horde mode. This is exactly what that is. However, what I really like about it is that it's not just a wave shooter kind of thing. My favorite thing, I got stuck not progressing in the story in Saints and Sinners because I couldn't stop doing the combat and the looting and the scavenging and stuff. And I was so obsessed with that. And they actually mixed this in. So now you get to go out there, you get to just wail on zombies with all these different weapons that you unlock with bite coins that you get as you play. And and but you get like the scavenging element as well. So it's really, really satisfying to me. And I absolutely love the cemetery. It's my favorite level because it's new. It's built from the ground up for the Meatgrinder update, and that's what I love about it the most.
Yeah, were you? I don't know how frequently you've been playing Saints and Sinners before this, but I will tell you that when I jumped into this, just for the first time in probably over a month, maybe longer,
Yeah.
for the live stream, it was the worst thing I'd ever done in my life. I was like, "What? This? I should have jumped into the game, remembered how to play everything, remembered the deal." And also, I'm so pissed that during my 90-minute live stream, I didn't turn on the HUD because when you turn off the HUD, you don't get those like cartoon almost onomatopoeia things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't say like 10 points decapitation. It doesn't say that stuff. So my entire live stream just looked like I was playing Saints and Sinners.
I was wondering when I flipped through, I was like, where's the cool stuff?
Yeah.
So keep your UI on, guys. For
Yeah,
sure.
because I played through the entire story campaign with that shit off. Like it just didn't matter to me. It looked bad for my review footage, and because it jittered a little bit on screen, and so I just turned it off. And I didn't really pay attention to it anyway. But you really need to pay attention to it during this. Like I'm constantly grabbing shit off the ground and eating it or drinking it, and just keeping an eye on my meters. This made that shit for the first time for me way more important.
Oh, it's way intense compared to the regular game. Like just the volume of zombies coming at you, the fact that they're coming straight at you.
That music too.
The music, and as we were saying, and as Nick mentioned in the chat, not having your upgrades in the story that you get used to having, and not having certain items just like on hand, it totally changes things up and really puts the whole mechanics of the gameplay in a new perspective. That's really fun. It's also there's this whole new thing to learn in terms of like how to stack up combos and build multipliers and get higher scores. Because if you just go around stabbing one guy at a time, shooting one guy at a time, you won't get enough byte coins to actually get any of the cool stuff by the time you need it. You'll get to like wave 4 or 5 and you'll have barely anything cool and you'll get totally killed. But what you have to do is figure out things like there's certain zombies that if you shoot them, anything in a certain radius becomes a multiplier, and so you want to hunt those guys down and focus on those guys. Then you've also got stuff like explodable stuff where you can get a few zombies in an area and you get them all at once. You get a multi-kill, an explosion kill.
Or in my case, you blow yourself up. I blow myself up every single time. I got to wave 15. There's 20 waves total.
Does that have anything to do with the fact that you were walking around with a propane tank above your head, hitting zombies with it? It's like, does that have anything to do with it?
There's propane tanks. Yeah, it did work. I like you said,
just bonk them on the noggin.
You get points. You get rewarded for the more creative and stylish you get. Do your kills and attacks and stuff. Like if you throw a knife, you get 15 points versus just stabbing him in the head and getting 10 points.
I kept getting him in the arm and the knife would stick there. And I was like,
it happened to me too all the time. So when I started out, I was still learning the mechanics, getting the basics down, didn't know about the multipliers, stuff like that. So I ended up like basically not by like the 4th round or something, it ended up not having like any points at all. So like I had nothing. And so I ended up just grabbing one of those propane tanks and just holding it over my head and just going ping, 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 and just hitting him in the face. I mean, you got to do whatever you can to survive, man. But
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm always kicking so much ass in this. And then I blow myself up. That is just like my signature way to go out, but it is so much fun. And I love the combat. It's so visceral. And it's it's fantastic, man. I love the cemetery so much, really.
The thing that I had trouble with, it not blowing myself up, although I did do that a couple times, but I sort of eventually kind of figured out the range or whatever. The main thing is that in the heat of it all, it gets really hectic, and I was dropping stuff without realizing it, and then I'd go to grab my shotgun, and I'd be like, it's not there. What the fuck? Where's my shotgun? And so I'm about to take out these guys in front of me, and then I got to like reevaluate everything. What else do I have? Is there anything in my backpack? Can I run with the stamina that I have to get away? And a lot of times I was able to sneak my way back and like find what I had dropped somewhere else. But a couple times it didn't work out so well. So keep a good handle on your weapons, because if you drop one, you are going to get run down by zombies very, very quickly. Yeah. And you don't typically have a lot of alternatives. Like at least for the first few waves, you got a main weapon, maybe one or two backups, but like you're really focused on a small set of items, especially if you go for upgrades and stuff. You guys want to take like a 10-minute tip break here? Because there's
let's take a second for sure.
You guys are crazy. This train is rolling strong.
Okay.
Hit it for me, and I'll get the first one. Okay.
That's all you get, Ryan.
That's for the VR Grid with the Canadian $5 donation. Monopoly money. Thank you so much, sir. He says, got to go with disc version of PS5. Too many physicals have my quotes on the box. You fucker. That is, I
told him you're so goddamn conceited, Ryan.
So
You're
conceited.
Nice.
FYI, Without Parole has no box quotes yet. That is just something we have not achieved.
That's because we don't pander, Ryan.
He says, shout out to Ninja Legends and Perp Games. Did you get a box quote for Ninja Legends? You motherfucker.
I'm sure he did.
Thank you for the $5 donation, Ryan. We really appreciate it. Hit that for me again, Dave.
Okay.
No one will ever. Never mind. Good.
This one's Nihilist Ryan, the game Feline, rare with a $5 donation saying PS5 nudes gets my Unreal Engine going.
Show me your USB ports.
Thank you so much. Next up is, you guys want to take over?
Sure. AJ, you want to grab this one?
This is Your Log Shadows with the 50 Nokios and says, can't believe Sony even beat the Xbox to nudes.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft got to start shaping up. Viagra might sort them out.
Maybe. That is awesome. I was looking for all the other nude comments. This is great.
There's a bunch of new comments in here.
Okay.
There's a lot of new
slip of
comments.
the tongue. Very good slip of the tongue.
This one's from Texatron, the indoor cat, rare with the 420 donation. Hype for Dreams VR, but can't wait for award show. Oh my god, I don't even.
Yeah. Get ready for that, Ryan.
Oh my god, the award show. I gotta like hire people for the award show. Thank you so much, Texatron.
It's a good thing we started planning for the award show back in like February, and we still have nothing.
Oh my god, nothing.
All right, I got this one.
Okay.
That is Bit Jello Boy 30, that jiggly gamer cat with the $5 donation says, hey all, love the Saints and Sinners update. What is everyone's personal best on the trials? Mine is B on wave 7. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday.
C minus. I totally still suck at this. I played for like an hour today, and I felt like I was doing a lot better. But I'm still learning new strategies and stuff, so I still suck. But man, I'm having way more fun with it than I even was yesterday during my stream.
Nice. Yeah, I think my best is C minus on wave 8. I think I got to wave 8 was my last one that I made it to.
I think maybe 6 for me. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't actually know the highest letter grade I've gotten, but I do know that I've gotten to wave 15. That's the highest wave I've been able to get to.
That's some AJ shit.
And we do know there's an end to it, right?
20 waves.
There's supposed to be 20 waves, yes.
But there's also an advanced mode. So there's like a
oh my god,
standard mode, and then there's like an even harder mode. And I don't even want to touch that with
I think
for a minute.
I think the standard mode has a great balance. It is very like it's challenging, but I think it's very balanced. Like, and then I played advanced mode, and it's like goodbye to all your stamina, and here's like 10 more aggressive zombies like running at you all the time. And it is hard. It is so hard. So I've been playing on the standard one for now, and just trying to, develop a strategy, get the favorite weapons. I love the katanas. I build the katanas over and over and over, and I'll sit there and I'll slice their heads off or whatever, get the combo stuff, and just kind of fight in that circle. That is one thing about the multiplayer thing, is that the only problem I have with the multiplayer is that the circle stays there. So once you get like the kill streak, you have to stay there or else you lose your bonus points. Of course, it's just for that wave. So I would have liked to like be able to run around, explore more while I've got the bonus going, and just running around chasing zombie or walkers down and getting that multiplier going. But
wait, hold on. So just to clarify. I'm sorry,
ahead.
Dave. Just to clarify, you get the points while you're killing in the circle.
In that circle.
And then does the circle stay there till the end of the wave? Is that what we're saying?
It's the end of the wave.
Oh, it's the whole wave?
Okay, I thought it faded out eventually.
For a certain amount of time. I thought it did too.
Unless I was just
that, Tiffany. Yeah, keep us honest if that's not the case.
Yeah, unless I was just getting it, by the way. But no, I had like 3 stacks of waves going, and it would get smaller, or multipliers going, and it was like smaller and smaller and smaller. And yeah, so I wasn't like able to like continue running around. And the level looks so cool. I love how they added like that broken statue with like the fire, and you've got the birds flying around. And that cemetery, a lot of you have played Saints and Sinners. The second you start in that cemetery, you're just like, wow, like this looks incredible. And I had that same feeling once again playing this level.
Such a good reason to get back into the game too. Like I'd beaten the game and I kept saying, I'm going to go back, I'm going to platinum this, I'm going to find all the collectibles, I'm going to unlock everything. And I just didn't. I never found time for it. And then this was like, oh man, I forgot how fucking great this game is. It just made me go back and love it even more than I already did. Let's keep moving with the tips here.
Sorry, I got to say something real quick because I got cut off before. But AJ, as far as that point, in terms of you want to be able to run around and use the multiplayer, right. I kind of like the limitation that they have here. I have the opposite response to it because you're stuck in one spot, which makes it harder for you to be squirrely and get away from groups of zombies. You have to defend that point, and there's guys coming at you from every direction. You can't run off and hide for a second. You can't put distance between you to reload. You have to stay in there, which makes it stressful, I think.
I like luring them to get it to get another multiplier on top of that multiplier.
You chuck a nail bomb in the middle of them or something like that.
To me, the running you still you have a payoff. Like so, yeah, you can run away, but then your stamina goes down, and then the next thing you know, they're biting the shit out of you. Oh, yes. So to me, it's a lot easier for me personally to sit there and defend with all the weapons in the arsenal or whatever, and keep them away or get them without losing my stamina. And that's why I say, like, that's for me personally why staying in one spot's easier for me.
I feel like Saints and Sinners was all about risk and reward already. And then the Meatgrinder update, the trial specifically, took that to a new level, especially with this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so we got more tips coming in. So you're right, Brian. We got to get on this. All right, next one.
Let go of me. Unhand me.
Joe Grover, the effing Game Cat, $20 says PS5 nudes, pistol whip, Meatgrinder, horror mode.
Horror mode.
I said horror mode. I said horror mode.
I think
what the hell is going on around here?
Horde mode.
Horde. Yeah, we meant horde mode. He said, okay,
love it.
Back under my Playboy. Or rock. I mean rock.
Nice. Very nice. Joe Grover.
You get Darth Vader above him. Get Darth Vader.
We'll get Darth Vader. Joe Grover, thank you so much for the donation. We love you.
All right. That's Darth Vader. That's Darth Vader with $9.99 says, hey guys, I love this show and I love this community. All you Game Cats are freaking amazing and you make me so happy. Brian, AJ, and Dave, and all the Game Cats, thank you for everything. Love all of you. Thank you, Darth Vader. You're great. It's a great community.
We love you too, Darth Vader, and we love everybody in the community. Thank you so much. You guys are the fucking best.
It is an amazing community.
Whoa.
Who's next?
K-Panic, the Game Cat Dreamer. He changed his name, obviously, because of the upcoming dreams with the $4.99. Next week, the $4.99 donation saying, "Sup, peeps? Meatgrinder or Meatgrinder, the hookup app." I'm liking it. I swiped left with my move and got a date.
There you go.
I'm sorry that when you swiped, you got me. I apologize. That is, the best I got. Thank you very much. And one more tip.
Two more.
Actually, there's two.
Oh, wow.
Three,
How did I miss? What the fuck?
Yeah, we got more.
I got this one.
I got
and this is Stu Miles with her alternative vision hat. Snakes eat the bugs. $4.99 donation says, for iPad, chase the mouse. No zombies involved. Subscription.
All right.
Very nice.
We also missed El Ramio.
Yeah,
we got El Ramio in here as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, these are all over the place.
Woo, you guys are so generous today, man. Thank you so much.
He said, I want backpack skins because every game needs better skins, and apparently Saints and Sinners already has none. Okay.
Has some.
Skins. Well, some. I misread that. I don't know if it's a skin, but I found that panda backpack. You can't wear it, but you can keep it in your place.
Bus.
Oh, I need to find that. That sounds adorable. Nice.
Pretty cool.
You want to come back to my bus and see my panda backpack?
Yeah, right. Okay, final one. That's $2 from
Professor
Let's say it
Lilith.
at the same time.
Professor Lilith with $2 donation saying, Happy GAMESCAST, Game Cats. I thought we were going to say it together, so I said it weird and slow. Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Lilith.
I wanted to see you fumble.
It's kind of hard to say that together.
Also, thank you, Professor Lilith, for subscribing to Tornado's YouTube channel. Thank you to everybody who subscribed to Tornado's YouTube channel. I've been getting a lot of love over there. Just hanging out. Thank you, Dave. Yeah. Absolutely. You guys are all awesome. Really, really appreciate it. And thank you for the generosity today. It's been craziness. Delirium Juice. It's Happy Tipcast. It feels like a Tipcast.
Yeah, no, that was wild. All right, guys, take a break.
So
we got some stuff to cover, and I got to leave in a little bit. So let's.
So it does seem like there may be some more tweaks. Well, this is the thing. I watched. I actually went back and watched the Meatgrinder update video that was made by their team SDI, and they actually said at the very end that they're not done yet. So I think this was a great addition. I think this was something that a lot of people wanted. But we will be. It does seem like we'll be getting more stuff. I don't know if it's going to be in the form of like just more updates to this or whatever it is. I can't wait to see it because I love the work that these guys do. I love this entire team. And that's not the only part of the Meatgrinder update, guys. Right. One of the biggest things I've seen, I've never seen a reaction like this before. The voice immersion feature is now, you can enable it. So now basically the walkers can hear you in the story mode or just the regular mode. They if you make some kind of noise, they will turn around.
Yeah, this is something we thought was there possibly at launch. There were a lot of people even being like, no, they are responding to my noise at launch. And we're like, I'm pretty sure they're not. But now that that you can, it's so cool.
It's just like people who are convinced that every No Man's Sky patch did get a pro update. They're like, it looks clearer to me. I swear to God, it's clearer than it was. And everyone's like, oh, they got the pro patch. And I was like, no, you're wrong. You just convinced yourself they did.
This is something that's really cool, man. I got to try it out yesterday, and I was going around, sneaking around. I forgot like how good the stealth is in this game too. But I was sneaking up behind. If you actually try to sneak up behind a walker, and I was like, hey, is this your wallet? And like it would like turn around, and I was like, Sing! Or like I'd walk up to it and be like, yodel, yodel, hee-hoo, and like I was yodeling. So I made a mistake though. So I got that guy. They do turn around. They turn around all slow like and stuff, and you kill them. But what I didn't realize was that it actually, I started walking and I see a walker, and I was like, oh shit. So I ducked behind a car. And then there was like 5 or 6 of them that came. So when I was like really loud, that actually attracted more of them, the louder I was. And I thought that was really cool. And then I, took out the bow with the explosive arrow. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? And I was like, pew! And they blew up or whatever. Actually, it was funny because I learned yesterday that if you shoot a walker with a helmet on, with the bow, it actually just like ricochets off and like flies back at you. But no, it was awesome, man. I did end up blowing myself up after that.
I think we should, I need to do a stream where I do like hard mode, which is just streaming while talking to chat while I have that turned on. Because if you're trying to respond to comments and every time you do, the zombies come after you, that is going to be terrifyingly difficult. And I think it might be kind of fun to try it. And if I replied to you, I really cared because I'm putting my own life on the line just for you guys.
I feel like zombies pretty much are paying attention to me at all times anyway. So I didn't think I don't know how much the voice chat thing is going to be like different for me. I'm also not sneaking around. Are you guys sneaking around in the horde mode at all?
Much. Oh no, the horde mode, absolutely no.
Okay, but in the game, obviously, that's a totally different story.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, there's the easy mode as well that got thrown in there. That was it's for people who just want to focus on the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does that eliminate the stamina meter altogether?
So
I think I heard that. Yeah, or
I did hear that it affects the endurance and the survival mechanics to some degree. I know a lot of people would be happy about this because I remember when this even first released on PSVR, people were like, they were like, oh, I don't like the endurance thing. Me personally, that's like half the fun is having to deal with that endurance meter. So this update, that's the only thing I didn't actually try out.
Same.
But and the voice immersion, I will say, however, it does work on humans as well. So it works on anybody.
Yeah. Listen, I know that we could probably talk about the Meatgrinder update all day long, but with Dave leaving in like 10 minutes, I would like to get some of his thoughts on Crisis Brigade 2.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to do 2 quick tips real quick.
Thank you.
Get out of here! It's hard!
That is Johnny Rypap, the stray game cat. He's breathtaking. $3.99 in Monopoly money. And he says, we need Tiff on the Gamescast. Breathtaking.
Yep.
Smiley face.
It's very
then
true.
David Moore, in the same vein.
You get out of my home!
damn it, I keep getting notifications on my phone. Says $5 tip, and he says, "We want Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Oh, I guess that's the way you're supposed to do it. Just increasing dimension.
Yeah, just gotta scared me for a minute there. Well, you got to give the Game Cats what they want. So
for sure.
We'll get her
Tiffany,
on.
You're on the hook now. So if you guys don't know, she is the director of operations at Skydance Interactive, and she's kind enough to hang out with us fools in the chat and on the streams, and so cool stuff. But Crisis Brigade 2. This is in every way an improvement over the first one. Very cool. I really like it a lot. And having played it on PC, it doesn't lose anything. And in fact, having aim support, it's way better, I think. So, obviously there might still be some tracking issues, but I set my camera up facing pretty down because, as you know, if you guys ever played Crisis Brigade 1 or heard us talk about this one, you will be on your knees like half the time, if not more. You spend most of your time on your knees ducking behind cover. So you really want to make sure the camera's like pointed down and it gets you when you're down there. But I didn't have any loss of tracking. Everything worked great with the moves and with the aim. I didn't try the DualShock, but I don't want to. I'm sure it's okay, but not.
I tried the DualShock. It's fine. It totally works. I think it's just fine. That's not the way to do it, though.
For sure. But I mean, I guess if you only have DualShock, you could get it, but I wouldn't really recommend it if you just have DualShock. It's a cool game, but yeah. One thing that people might be wondering about is like, why is it more expensive on PSVR than it was on PC? I gotta say, I think that's because aim support. That adds some development overhead, that takes some extra time and prototyping and stuff, and it really does add $5. Yeah, well, it adds a lot of value to the game to be able to use your aim controller in it. So I think that's worth the little price bump.
Well, let me ask you this: Crisis Brigade on Steam currently is $20. So what's the
really?
yeah?
It's a discount or something. I take it back. I thought it was cheaper. Sorry, I'm crazy. So same price even with move support, then that's even better. But it's same concept as the first one. If you know, it's 3 ultra difficult stages that are a series of points that you go to. It's a point-to-point thing like Time Crisis, which is the big thing we always say. This is about as close as you're going to get to Time Crisis in VR. And they really nailed that feeling. It's super arcadey. You got the power-ups. AJ loves the thing where it says, wait, at the beginning of a stage and you can't fire yet.
That was one of the most nostalgic things. I mean, and you guys know, most of the Game Cats know, whenever it's like you got to wait for the scene to play out. And, in House of the Dead or something, it'd be like a girl like running out of the room or like running across the bridge. She'd be like, help me. And it'd be like, wait. And
but I want to help now.
yeah, you do. But this does capture that light gun arcade feel to it. And one could say, guys, I'm a little bit of a fan of light gun arcade shooters.
Is this like the fifth time you brought this all out as props?
I think this is probably the first.
You're like our own. You're our very own Carrot Top.
These are not props. These are amazing peripherals that I've been in love with forever. And I stopped going to arcades, but I just have a love for these kinds of games. And I think Crisis Brigade 2, I should say, is like the closest thing to Time Crisis. It was originally Mortal Blitz, but I think this is the one.
Let me ask you both a question. If they sold a pedal as an accessory for PlayStation VR, that was like the Time Crisis pedal that would like pop you up and out of cover. And so instead of adding a duck button, they gave you a pedal to boom, boom, pop you up and down. Would you buy that to play Crisis Brigade 1 and 2?
I would fucking immediately buy that.
Yeah,
I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yep. I mean, a crouch button. I would probably have a button to step on, but a button.
Use the move buttons for anything, do they?
No, I mean there should definitely be a crouch button in this game, and I think that's probably that's a big topic of discussion because I think.
I don't think they're ever going to change it, because the first one they got that complaint all the time and they never bothered changing it. I think it's a design decision because they want this game to be really goddamn hard.
Yeah.
And if it had a crouch button, it would be significantly easier. It would still be hard. You'd still get killed a lot. But without the physical exertion of constantly getting down and popping up and getting down and popping up, like that's part of what makes it so difficult. And I don't think they want to lose that, although I I really wish they would think of accessibility, because there are so many people out there that just cannot play this game. And they would make a lot of sales if they said, hey guys, for people with disabilities, we've added a mode where you can enable a crouch button.
Right.
People would love that. And I think they're shooting themselves in the foot and ignoring money by being so principled about this. Like, we will never add a crouch button because this is the way the game is supposed to be. Developers don't always know what's best for their own game. I got to be honest. And in this case, I think they should budge on that. And I hope they do, but I don't expect them to at any point.
I think accessibility is definitely something that is important. Absolutely.
Well, but the other thing is like, if we're talking about wanting to like stay true to their vision and be like, we want to make this an extremely difficult arcade shooter, well, then they sort of did something in this game that negated all that.
You're right. That's
right.
The upgrade system.
The upgrade system, you get coins every time you go through. Every time you kill a guy, you get coins. You do a headshot, you get more coins. You're going through the game and you're getting coins, and then so you spend those coins in the lobby for your next run, and you can make the game easier. You can add up to 5 extra health.
Right.
You can also continue when you die if you have enough credits.
Right.
Like, you've got your 5 extra, but then you can still come back if you lose all those lives. The other thing is you can get permanent weapon upgrades, like different weapons than the one you load out with. And some of them, like the pistol, right from the start, you can buy one for 100 coins, which is dirt cheap in the game. 100 coins is like nothing. You'll get that on your first run. And it has like twice as much ammo as the starting gun in one clip. So it's sort of like, okay, there are a lot of ways that they made it easier, which is good. And I like that you have to work for it and there's an upgrade system built in. But like you said, if they're going to be so, sticking to their guns about it, then why do something like that? Just throw in an accessibility option, man. Come on.
So I do want to dial it back a little bit. I mean, in general, the first game came out, it was one level. It was $7.99, something like that, and it was one quick level.
I think it was $5.99 when it came out. $6.
Oh, and then it went up after they added the second update or whatever.
$8.99 was the.
It was $6.99.
Okay.
Okay, but this game essentially, I think, did a wonderful job of taking what worked in the first game and improving on that. The first, of course, being the graphics. All the guns look realistic. The enemy AI, I thought, was a lot better. I mean, not only does it not have this Minecraft kind of look to it, just in time VR.
Incorporated, yeah. Also,
just in time.
I just looked it up. It was $6, $5.99.
Oh, nice. But I thought that they took the core game itself and did a wonderful job. And one thing I love about this movie, if you guys are action movie fans, all my action movie people out there, you would definitely get a kick out of some of the Easter eggs and influences in this game. I won't spoil any from this one, but I will say the first one had references to like The Matrix, where you were in the lobby of that building, and you basically go up the elevators and stuff like that, and you have these intense shootouts. This one does that once again, has some amazing things, and it's got boss fights now. The first one didn't really have boss fights. It kind of did, but not like a here's the boss, kill him kind of thing. And this one really doubles down on that, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I do. I saw Meow Meow the Gamer Cat in the chat saying, including carrying over the exact same sound clips from the first one. It was a little strange. I thought they had the voiceovers. The guy in your radio is very sarcastic. He's giving you shit anytime you reload without using all of your ammo.
All right.
He every so often he's like 100 points to Gryffindor. That kind of like fucking like random pop culture reference stuff. And I was like, yeah, we've heard I think all of these in the first game. So it was a little strange that they couldn't just record like 30 new voiceover clips for this one. I thought that was a little strange.
Yeah, that is kind of odd. But yeah, to AJ's point, the movie references are very strong in this. There's like a whole Scarface level where it's. Oh, was that a spoiler?
Yeah, but it's okay.
I mean, it's on AJ's stream. It's on everyone's stream if you watched it.
True. I was trying not to give him. But
oh, you didn't stream it. Okay, I thought you had. But yeah, I mean, beyond just noting that
that's a great example, though.
It's cool. It's like, really well done too. Like, there's all these little touches that make it feel just like you're in that little bit of the movie. And it's pretty cool. And yeah, it's like a boss fight, which they didn't have boss fights in the first one, if I remember correctly, right?
What did you guys think of the boss fights in this?
I got to be honest. didn't get good enough yet to get to the bosses I just saw. It just because this game is really hard, guys. Like you got to really put time in or abuse the upgrade system to get through some of these stages. And just as with the first one, you don't have them all unlocked. You have to make it through, and I think reach a certain high score. It was a high score in the first one. I don't know if it's just completion in this one or not. But yeah, you're not going to have all 3 stages off the bat, so you got to work for that.
I loved the second boss, which is in relation to the Scarface level. Like I said, that boss was absolutely amazing. The first one was like a generic kind of one, and the third one was like thing. Now, I will say, once you complete the game, there is another something. I don't even know what it is yet because
really?
There's a secret boss somewhere, and I won't like give any hints on that. And I also don't want to mention anything,
right.
But the third level, when the way the third level was done was absolutely mind blowing. We were talking about how with Saints and Sinners, how you start off in the cemetery and you're just like, wow, like this, it has that immediate, like just wow factor to it. And that's what I loved about this game was it was like, you know, Blood and Truth.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, AJ. I don't have to leave permanently just yet, but I do have to step away for just 1 sec, so I'll be back.
All right,
no
Dave.
problem, man. Thank you. But it was absolutely amazing, like the way they did the third level in this, and I thought it was so creative and just blew my mind, and it was so much fun.
So basically, I you know, your stream was great. I want to make sure though that people stop at the end of the second level on your stream, because I would hate for anyone to watch the beginning of level 3 and see that get spoiled.
Yeah.
I think the level design in this game was great. I don't know what the deal was with the timer. The timers in the first game felt so important, like because the first couple times I played Crisis Brigade 1, I died a lot. You know, and I was like, didn't even see the end of the levels. Now I got better and better and better, and or learned enemy locations and started taking them down, you know, without getting shot as much. But I was taking my time, and then I'd get, you know, 3/4 of the way through the level, and everything would blow up because the timer detonated.
Right.
That just didn't happen this time around ever.
The timer's a little bit more lenient this time around.
Did you ever get blown up because of the timer?
No, I don't think I ever ran out of time.
Which was that an issue for you with in the first game?
No.
Oh, really?
but this was the difference though, is that like I would have like 30 seconds left, and it was so stressful and it was very intense. It added to like the intensity of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did never actually run out of time on the other one. I usually would just die, if anything.
Gotcha. So I think Dave sort of mentioned it right at the beginning of this, that you know, the graphics were improved for this one.
Right.
But I don't think we really brought the point home just how impressive this thing looks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not photorealistic, but man, it is really detailed. Like all the environments look great in this.
Every room, so you know how it takes you like from scene to scene. Like, did you find yourself like, especially like in the mansion or something, like stopping and like it's got you hiding behind like a statue of like a scuba, like an old school scuba diving suit or something? And I was like, I'm like sitting there like shooting, and I'm like examining this, like I'm stopping and like I'm like, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah. I didn't try to blow up too much stuff. There were some vases and stuff in the mansion that I was like, you know, I was like, these look destructible, and I immediately shot those, and they, you know, crashed and destroyed them, and then they fell to pieces or whatever.
Right.
But I wish that I had kind of explored a little bit more in terms of just like shooting random stuff and seeing if anything else was destructible.
Right.
Did you have a chance to figure any of that out?
It's like random stuff. Sometimes there is stuff that you can mess with, and sometimes you can't. You know, especially like in the lobby, you can break the glass. You can still shoot your partners or whatever. Again, you can actually kill them this time. Before they would just go like, "Oh, what are you, crazy?" And now you can actually like shoot them in the lobby. And there's like a coffee cup that you can shoot, and it puts like bullet holes in it, but it doesn't actually like move or anything. But you can like pick them up. Like if you have the move controllers, it does give you some more options to be able to mess with stuff. It's got like a walkie-talkie. You can pick up a coffee cup, and different things to play with. And this is kind of where the skins that you unlock come into play as well, because
really
yeah, with the Move controllers, you have actually skins for your gloves, and then there's skins you can unlock now for your guns, and they look really good.
Yeah, and the cool thing is like the clip matches and everything. Like when you got the pistol, like if you got a blue skin, you got a blue clip that you pop into it. That's kind of a cool, tying it all together. And then of course, I don't know if we went over yet, but depending on which control input you use, you have different loadouts. So like Move controllers are a pistol loadout by default, whereas the aim controller is going to be like an assault rifle kind of deal. And that does vary the gameplay a lot. I mean, it's much different playing with the moves when you've got manual reload on and you're ducking and popping out the chamber, putting a new one in, doing all that shit. That's all very satisfying, just as it was in the first one. Did you guys cover this while I was away?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I mean, any way you play it, besides DualShock 4, has some cool level of immersion to it.
Right.
And each one doesn't just feel like, oh, it's like supported. It's like it's tailored. There is a different weapon set. There is a different way of playing. With the DualShock or the aim controller, you just hit a button to reload. And that's easy, makes the game a little easier, but there is no reaching and grabbing a thing and putting it in and cocking the thing. So if you like that level of immersion, you might say, oh, I want to play with the moves. But if you just want to feel like a badass with your aim controller and
the aim is definitely the best one, but I do like, to your point, I the moves do feel the best because it gives you a pistol instead of thing. And like you said, when you drop the clip out or whatever, you're reloading, stuff like that. It feels fantastic. And just the pistol itself feels really good.
You know what I just thought of? That would be like an incredible, like in between step for a crouch button. If you're offhand with the moves, your left hand when you're not reloading and stuff, if you could use that to grab onto a thing and lift yourself up and down like you can in several games, like
Planet of the Apes.
Crisis on the Planet of the Apes. There's at least one other game that does that too. I think in Saints and Sinners you can grab on a thing and move yourself
Pretty
around.
much,
Yeah.
So if they had something like that, that would be incredible and really immersive too. If you grab onto the dumpster and you like duck and then you pull yourself up and take a few shots and
do that and then just put a. Yeah, it's a great idea. And then put like just a button on the thing, and then screw it, add rudder support. So for your crouching thing.
You know what's funny? Somebody was saying, "Oh, well, we could just repurpose the 3D rudder to be the step."
Absolutely.
We could cut one 3D rudder into 4 pieces and make 4 little triggers out of it. Probably.
I'll send. I've got 8 pieces. Let's do this. I mean, I will say when we had the GunCon 2s, or the GunCons back in the day for PlayStation 2, they just put the down on the D-pad. That's right above your thumb. That was the pedal to kind of pop you in and out of. And so a button would totally do the trick. But yeah, no, the Crisis on the Planet of the Apes thing would be amazing.
The other thing I'll say, from a game design perspective, that would keep the essence of the game, but still make it a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible, a little less crouching, is if they incorporated that old school Time Crisis thing, or I think it's Time Crisis. A lot of these shooters have this, where the guy who's about to attack you has a little red thing,
like some kind of better indicator.
Yeah, because in this game, every motherfucker is constantly firing their guns, like and there's like insane. 5 guys. There's a guy up there. There's a guy over here. There's a guy that runs at you, and they're all just fucking blasting away the whole time. Whereas in traditional light gun shooters, where it's not as cover based, you get a little indicator at least, like, okay, I need to duck now because this guy's about to shoot me. And I think you could comfortably spend more time up if that's the way it was structured. But then again, that's like a ground up redesign of the game, so I doubt they're going to do that. But just kicking ideas around.
I like the memorization element to this, to know where every guy is and be like, okay, I'm going to pop out this side of the dumpster because I'm going to take down this guy, and that guy. And I'm going to pop out this side, take down that guy, and this guy's going to run around in like 2 seconds. And I'm going to take down him. It's like, the memorization element, maybe alleviates the need for that, but also makes it more difficult when you jump in for the first time.
Well, I mean, that kind of plays into the whole arcadiness of it too. Like that memorization aspect in old games that were hard arcade games, you had to memorize or else you'd fucking lose.
Quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter.
And that's what this is. Essentially, it's built its in-game currency into a put another quarter system in, which is nice. I like that. Yeah. I think people will enjoy this one a lot, especially if you like the first one. I think we've said this before, but the devs say about this, if you liked the first Crisis Brigade, you're going to really like this one. If you didn't play the first one, you're still going to like it.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. I think it's just a very solid arcadey shoot 'em up. if you're down for something that you got to put a little elbow grease into, get a bit of a workout, leg day is this.
Oh man,
sure.
my thighs were burning.
I played for maybe 20-30 minutes before the GAMESCAST and didn't stretch properly, and like I could not bend down or stand up. Like I was just like my legs were gonna give out. It's intense for sure, but just very fun.
And a heads up. For a long time we thought that there was going to be 3-player co-op at launch, but apparently the co-op mode is delayed until sometime later this summer. We'll obviously keep you guys posted on when that gets patched in.
And one thing that I'm very curious to see, and this is going to affect my overall opinion of the game when it comes to like maybe not the next top 25 because I doubt they'll get it that soon, but the one after that is that what was I going to say? Oh, in the first one, the multiplayer support they added, some of the spawn points are really unfair for one of the players, and like you'll get on a streak where you say you loaded in as player 2 or player 3 or whichever one. Every spot you're getting is just like you're wide open sometimes, and you look at your friend over there who's got perfectly good cover, not dying at all, and you just get pissed because you're like, how come I'm getting shot so much and you're having a good time? So I really hope that they're taking their time to like really tweak and make sure that all the spawn points work well for 3 players, because I think in the first one it was kind of not an afterthought, but the game existed for a while before they put it in. Definitely. With this one, with the concept of putting it in from launch, like they're already considering putting it in, I hope the stages were designed in a way that there are 3 viable cover spots in every section.
If you look at the way the levels are designed here, and if you look at the way that when you can like shoot the little power up and you get like some backup support or whatever, if you look where those guys are, it seems like that will probably be where the second, third player will be, and it should be fine. But yeah, overall, I love this game, man. Overall, especially if you're a light gun shooter fan. What's funny, what you said is, if you liked the first one, you'll love this one. I think that's absolutely true. I even posted that on Twitter, not knowing that that's what they said in the description. That's just how I felt at the time, and that's a good way to describe this game. If you like the first one, you will love this one, and I totally agree.
You guys think the price is fair on this? $20?
I think so, just because of the amount of effort it will take the average person to unlock everything here, and also just the fun factor of it. If this was an arcade game, and you went to an arcade a few times, you'd spend $20 on it. It's enough content and enough fun, and they've upped the ante in certain ways, like with the boss fights and the upgrades, the customizations and stuff. I think for me, it's worth the $20, especially if you have an aim. If you have an aim, this is like one of the must-own shooting games for the aim, I think.
Yeah, I think this game's fantastic. I think it's a no-brainer if it ever goes on sale. But I am absolutely happy with it because even though it can be really short. There are a lot of reasons to replay it. Yeah. And there's reasons that we haven't even seen yet. And then the quality of it, the experience of it. It's like Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth for me, when at launch, was $40 and it was only 5 hours long, but it was so amazing and just mind-blowing that I loved it. And I was like, didn't regret a thing. This is kind of a similar thing, but more like a budget Blood and Truth,
Yeah. And, forget all the story stuff. It's very hokey. It's like, on the level of those old arcade games that are like, you got to save the president's daughter, like, every shoot 'em up was like, they've kidnapped the president's daughter. Yeah. So don't expect anything crazy, but that's not what it's there for. It's trying to be a strictly arcade game, and it does a really good job at that. Did you guys get while I was gone? Because there's
we got Kramer. Starting with Kramer, we got 3 tips. You guys, any final words, or you want to get the tips and move on to the next thing?
Well, let me just say real quick to wrap it up. They might have kind of Sumo Lab might have shot themselves in the foot a little bit by doing. Making Crisis Brigade 1 so budget priced to make me go, okay, well, here's what this game does. By comparison, it should be around $15, right? But and if the
presentation is what I think gives them the right to do that, because it looks so much better graphically, and people were very turned off by the cartoony aesthetic. I think not everybody, but there were people who said, I have no interest in this game because of how it looks.
Right.
And the gameplay is as rock solid as it ever was, but it looks way better than it did before.
Yeah. There are also people that are not into the the arcade rail gun shooter thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there was a guy on your stream, AJ, that was like, "This would be so much better if you could walk around. This is stupid. How come you have to stand in one
It
spot?"
kind
And
of
it's
defeats
like,
the purpose of the
you
game.
don't understand. Like, you might. I have to assume it's somebody who's like too young to even care about Time Crisis. You know, like
It's possible.
if
Right.
somebody's the way he was talking about it
It's
seemed like
definitely
it
a
was a
huge part
kid
of it.
complaining about it.
Yeah.
They said that about Parole and Truth, though. But Brian, continue. What were
Yeah,
you saying?
just to finish that thought, I mean, like, I think if they added literally one more level and waited to have the online co-op there at launch, the $20 price tag would have been like, okay, you gave me a lot more of everything. Everything from the last game is here, and everything feels great. It looks even better. We didn't even talk about the multiple paths, so that there are actually different scenes you can check out, and gives you a reason to play through each level a couple of times. It's so close though. Like, I'm so happy with everything that's there that it sounds so dumb to bitch about an extra $5. But for me, for some reason, that $15 price tag seems like where it should be at right now.
Well, hold on. But the current price of Crisis Brigade 1 is $15. Right?
$9.
I thought it was $15.
$9.
Didn't they raise it 2 times?
It's currently $9 with everything included, and
Is that on sale?
No, that is the
Or is
full
that-
price. It started at
Okay.
6, it ended at 9.
I think that there's enough to be said for this game that it's worth twice as much as the first one.
Excellent.
When that twice as much is $10 more. $20
I
bucks.
kind of disagree, but okay.
There's
I have
somebody-
no problem. I have no problem with the $20 price tag, but I do think it's like $5 more would be like
No,
the
the
sweet
level
spot.
of polish. The level
Sweet
of
spot.
polish is way higher,
Yeah.
and it is more accessible because of the upgrade system. There's more going on, like you said. Those boss fights, like
I don't think I chimed in on the boss fights thing. I think they were really fucking kind of way too simple. I was like,
I
this is
didn't
cool
try
that they're
Second one,
here. All three
I
of
like
them.
the
I was like,
second one a
it's
lot.
cool that they're here just to mix it up. But I was like, overall, I was like, man, I was excited about boss battles, and then I wasn't all that excited about actually playing them. So I mean, there's a lot of cool upgrades, and there's a lot of reasons to get this one, especially if you've already played the first one. Again, it sounds silly to bitch about $5. This game is awesome, and you should totally play it.
Yeah, I agree with you. So let's get to some tips here before I have to leave.
All right.
I don't know
Okay.
that I'll have to leave just yet. I haven't gotten an email saying I have to leave. That's what I'm
Okay.
waiting on.
All right.
It could come at any time at this point. But let's start with Kramer.
This is Treeland!
He's got 2 pounds.
Euros.
I'm so bad at this.
I know.
Euros and
Look,
pounds
it's like an
all the
E.
time.
Just look, it looks like an E. Just remember that.
Don't pounds look like an E too?
No, well, I mean, like a
No.
capital E. This looks like
Yeah.
a lowercase. No, wait a minute.
I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
both
why.
look like E's.
Yeah. they look like E. Anyways, I'm a heathen.
I gotta
I'm
look
even
up a
American
pound symbol
heathen.
down.
Kramer says,
Yeah.
any word on Starship Disco 2? Still waiting. The answer to that question, my friend,
Yeah.
is Audica. Audica is actually Starship Disco 2. It's the same game.
Ah,
Yep.
fair. Okay, next one. It's GameCat.
Fuck you! This is my Treeland!
That's all I got to say to you, Diz. No, just kidding. $5. He says, love every GamesCast, but just have to say last week may have been my favorite ever. Such a captivating special guest. It was brilliant. I think all of us feel that way.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite shows we've ever done. And I think we really talked about some interesting stuff that we've never touched on before. I got to talk about Mark Rothko paintings like during a GamesCast. So I was cool with that. But yeah, no, I mean, Rob Yescombe, if you guys didn't see last week's show, he's been in the industry for a while. He's done some great stuff, and he's focused on VR narrative design at this point. And he's just a great dude, super interesting. Check that out.
Farpoint, man. Just play Farpoint. That's all you gotta
Play
tell him.
PowerPoint for sure.
And then we got
This is my tree place! This is my tree world!
Joe Grover, the effing GameCat, $5. Says, not an issue in this game, not an issue in the first game. AJ, do you have any issues?
That was in
Is that a
reference to
personal
his.
question?
That was in reference to his timer not being an issue in Time Crisis
Okay.
Brigade 1. Is it could be a personal question though. Do you have any issues?
Oh, I just got some issues. I'll answer that for you. Next. I don't have much time. You guys can take this one. Cram Swanson.
Cram Swanson with $10 donation. I changed the pronunciation. PSVR without parole
Right.
has saved Qteen.
Quarantine.
Oh, quarantine. Jesus, thank you. You guys have given me something to look forward to every week. Thank you so much, Cram Swanson. We really appreciate
dude.
you being here and saving us from quarantine as well.
And I want to say real quick, I don't know if you've caught us talking about the Discord at all, but there's a link down below. If you're enjoying hanging out with us on the show here, you want something to do during quarantine, there's so many cool GameCats over there that you can just chill with any time of day.
Talk
that you feel like-
24/7.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different channels for whatever you want to talk
Tornado.
about, even if it's like flat screen games or movies or, what you ate for breakfast. Nobody really gives a shit. It's a fun place. So, Joe Grover again. He's returned.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Get out of here!
Brian's on mute.
Mhm.
Is a tornado there?
No, I'm trying to get Tornado over here. That's
Okay,
what I'm
cool,
doing.
Yeah.
You get this
Joe
tip?
Grover says, I got it. Yeah, $5. He says, I miss one friggin' Saturday Night Live cast, and it's the time that AJ craps in his pants. Figures. That must have been Dread Halls, I assume, or
It had to have been Dread Halls.
Yeah.
Oh, because we had the viewer takeover clip.
Yeah,
That
was good.
Yeah, that was no, it was awful. It was
I
terrible.
want to address one question here real quick. Somebody said about Crisis Brigade. So is it Dick Wild hard? The Dick Wild 1 was notoriously difficult, but I don't know how to say one is more or less difficult than the other. They're so different,
okay.
but
I'm going to
similar in a lot.
I'm going to say Crisis Brigade 2 is easier.
Probably so. Crisis Brigade 1 is debatable. 2 with the upgrade system, absolutely easier than
Dick Wild 1 is probably the hardest shooter I've ever played, ever.
Yeah. Dick Wild 2 is in the same way Crisis Brigade 2 is easier. It's easier.
And I
Mostly
think
because of the
Crisis
upgrades,
Brigade
right?
1, I know this is getting confusing as hell, but I think Crisis Brigade 1 before patch, like at launch, would be the closest thing to Dick Wild 1.
Yeah.
Well, they did do some balancing. Yeah, they
Right.
tried to. Well, they made it too easy, and they made it kind of hard again, and they kind of been going back and forth.
It was both of those were like impossible.
Yeah. Next one up is Darth Vader himself. AJ, you want to take that one? You're already breathing. It's all you.
Damn it, I close my eyes for 2 seconds and I wake up 20 minutes later.
God
That's
damn it,
okay.
Bane. So it sounds like, thank you so much for the donation. It sounds like he
Can
closed
you
his
just
eyes
change
for
your name to Bane?
It sounds, yeah, right, just to make your impression better.
Yeah.
It sounds like he actually closed his eyes for 20 minutes and 2 seconds. I don't know if that's he's got his time right on that.
And I didn't realize Darth Vader was a guy who naps.
I'm
He
a
doesn't
napper
seem like
too.
a guy who naps to me. I feel like he would just like get 3 hours of sleep every night and then just go all fucking day, like those weird, really motivated people.
Yeah.
I go to sleep at
Brian
1, I
is
wake up
not
at
on
4
mute.
every goddamn day. I'm Darth Vader.
It says Brian is not on mute, only on mute to AJ and Dave, just FYI.
No,
Okay.
he was briefly on mute. He is when the
Gotcha.
little, I can see his icon when he goes on mute. He
Wait
was
a
on
minute.
mute.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on a second. You know what? It's totally possible. It is totally possible that I'm only on mute with you guys because I don't know what so did you guys all hear me yelling at Tornado?
Yeah, they did.
No.
Oh, really? That's funny.
No, that's crazy. I don't know how to mute myself then. Oh man, this new setup is fucking bonkers.
All right, so
Sorry, guys.
Thank you guys so much for the tips. We love you.
Yeah, you guys
But
are
yeah, Crisis Brigade 2, I still say it should be. It's absolutely
Yeah.
absolute
Oh,
should be to me.
100%.
Like not even a question.
100%.
So PSVR Mania, real quick, you said Brigade 2 is static like Blood and Truth. Yes, it's in that same vein. It's a point-to-point, node-based shooter where you go to this spot and you stay there, and then you go to the next spot, and you have branching paths and stuff. So it's not exactly like Blood and Truth. Blood and Truth is a lot more. It's got a lot more verve to it. There's like you're constantly moving to the next spot. This one is like you're planted for a while and then you go. Anyways,
Right back.
one last tip from Johnny.
Bring the
Tripod.
game cat.
And for some reason, I still haven't been called in to work yet, so this is cool. We should start talking about No Man's Sky before I
should.
leave, too. I want to get into that.
Don't tweet me! Why you? Why you? Fuck you!
Who is he?
Make me more!
Who is he? Johnny Wrap Up the Stray Cat. That's who he is. $6.99 in Monopoly money. And he says, in the words of Apollo Creed, I want you, all of you, this Sunday, keep up the great, breathtaking work, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, let's explain that real quick.
Pump, push.
Right Pop has lost his goddamn mind
Yeah.
and has challenged everybody to Creed. If you're in our Discord,
No.
once again, join our Discord. Right Pop will be facing off everybody for 2.5 hours. Some of that even wearing weights on his hands. So if you want to beat the crap out of Right Pop because he asked when is Gorn coming out too many times, now is your chance. It is your lucky day.
If you're somebody who loves Diet Pepsi and you want to just give him one punch in the face, that's your chance. So Brian has disappeared.
Justin
Would you like
Credible. Justin Credible says, I can imagine Crisis Brigade 2 will get free content added. I did ask them about this. So they said that multiplayer will come sometime this summer. And then they said that
Get Carlos.
they said there's currently nothing like ready to go in terms of DLC or additional content. But it would be nice for them to add stuff later. But yeah, they said that, additional content for this game is not off the table. So it would be really, really nice for them to do that. Free updates. Come on, do it. Do it, Simulab.
What did I miss when I went to get Tornado? What did I miss?
Additional content for Crisis Brigade 2.
That would be amazing. They were so good about the first one. I mean, if we could get even just like another couple levels, it would be unbelievable. I'm sure the levels take way more time to craft now, but man, that would be unbelievable. Here, do you want to see Carlos? Oh, she's meowing. She's meowing. Who's a good girl? Oh, so.
My dog's asleep. He won't get up. Come here, buddy. He's just looking at me like, "What the hell do you want?"
Okay,
about some belly rubs?
Why can't you be a tiny cat?
Oh, you don't want to be here. Okay.
Carlos, you want to say anything?
Anyways, what the hell is going on, guys? What have you done? What did you do, chat?
Tornado just wants to be by herself right now, and I totally understand that. So you go do your thing, man.
Say hello. He's looking very disapprovingly at you.
My dog looked at me for like 1 minute and just stared at me with the death stare, and then laid back down and went back to sleep.
All right, we're gonna move you over to the bed. Sorry, that was a bad hold.
Okay. All right. So speaking of Rye Pop, guys, time to move on to the news. We had the Firewall tournament that we recently did.
AJ. Before I go, I said I want to talk about No Man's Sky.
All right, let's do everything Dave wants to do.
Well, I have to leave in like fucking any moment now, so I want to talk a little bit about No Man's Sky at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you play it yet?
No, but I'm very excited because.
All right. Well, I'm excited too, guys, because No Man's Sky has added a free update today called the Desolation. Oh, wait, no, Desolation. Sorry, that's another game. I knew that was going to happen.
Desolation?
Desolation.
Might be Desolatium. I never thought about that before.
Dave, why don't you handle this tip real quick, and then let me get my No Man's Sky notes up.
Just checking my email to make sure I'm not on call yet. Okay, 1 sec. What do we got? Oh, just this one from Robbie?
Yep.
Okay.
You can't do the right to squeeze me.
Now, I need to do research. Is that a euro or a pound? I know we had this discussion.
That's a pound. That's quid. You don't want to sound all fucking.
Oh, I'm just going to call everything a quid now. Everything gives a quid. Robbie with 2 quids, the English game cat, so posh. He says, interested in what Dave does for work. I can give you like the short version. It's not that exciting.
Please give the short version.
Yeah, no. I mean, he asked, so he paid money. I got to tell him.
Yeah.
I work for an IT company. I work from home, and basically the system that everybody does work in, I make sure when we make changes to it, it works fine and meets everybody's needs. So if you say, hey, I need you guys to do this for me to make my job easier, I go in and say, hey, it works. Hey, it didn't break anything. AJ, shut the fuck up. Get out of there. My job is not Castlevania. You know that. You know my job's not Castlevania.
Job should be Castlevania.
I wish it was, man. Jeez. Okay, well, that's it. Yeah, it's IT stuff. I guess you'd call me a QA analyst or a business analyst or something like that. But I've been in this company for like 10 years. Anyways.
Okay.
Let's talk about No Man's Sky.
All right,
they added an update today, the Desolation update, which basically free update, as always, added a bunch of new content in the form of these derelict ships that are floating around in space. And when you go on board, there's a procedurally generated like dungeon, basically, where there's all these creepy kind of like Dead Space or like original Alien movies kind of vibe. There's these little creatures that skitter around and all kinds of weird shit going on in there. And there's also some story in there too. I've heard you can find like the flight logs to see what happened to the ship before it went down and stuff. And they rebalanced the combat to make that more satisfying. So since this is kind of a combat focused mission that you can do with friends, the guns have been rebalanced and reworked a little bit. But I haven't had a chance to play it, and you guys have. So what did you think?
Can I preface this a little bit, AJ, before we jump right into it?
Go for it.
I hadn't played No Man's Sky in forever. It had been so long since I played this game. I jumped in. I probably had 20 minutes or so to play before AJ and I teamed up to tackle one of these ships. And I'm, here I am. I'm stuck on a planet. Of course, I've got my launch thrusters or whatever are totally dry. I'm inside my ship. There is a radiation storm going on, and I just have to wait it out. And I'm like, oh man, this is why I haven't played No Man's Sky in a while, because I am at a total loss what to do right now. I couldn't take off. I had to wait out the storm. Then I got out and I started running around and started collecting what I needed to create launch fuel. And I literally had to text AJ and say, how do I open my inventory? Like, that's how long it had been. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in this game anymore.
It's been a few months for me too. I actually missed a couple updates that I should have done. Like the thing when you could start riding animals, I had been saying the whole time when I was playing, like, man, I wish you could ride these motherfuckers in VR. And then they added it, and like a moron, I never got back to playing it. So I'm like a few updates behind, actually. But this is a very exciting one to me. How did you guys play multiplayer together, or did you try it separately?
Together.
Was that cool as a co-op thing? Like, did you have fun going through it together? Or
Yeah,
what?
and thank God AJ was there, because like again, I was like, I don't remember how to do this. I don't remember how to do this, and he had to give me sodium halfway through. I mean, like, so again, if I had to do this on my own, I would have been fucked. It would have taken me hours just to find the ship.
Yeah.
But AJ jumped in 2 minutes later. He was like, I sent you an invite. Let's do this. I'm at the ship. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
So there's a new like dealer or whatever at the space stations called like a scrapyard dealer, something like that.
Oh, yes.
You know how they have like those trading posts, and yeah, there's a brand new one right in the middle. And the first time you go there, it'll actually let you it'll like have it marked, so it's not that hard to find. But you talk to them, and you can actually buy the coordinates for this thing. There is one of these. Which are all procedurally generated, by the way, and they're derelict freighters. And basically, yeah, you can, if you don't want to search for them, there's one in every single system that you can find. But if you don't want to search for them, you can buy like a tracker from this guy. And the first one cost me $5 million, so they're pretty expensive. Hopefully you've been farming or just hanging out with Nick Mulo some.
So what I heard is that there's a ship upgrade you can get that lets you scan for these things in each system.
That would
and
be
the
sweet.
price, there is one. It's in the patch notes I saw somewhere. I was looking at the subreddit today, and they did mention that. But it sounds like it's pretty expensive, and the price fluctuates daily. So every day the price of this thing is different, going up and down. So I think that behooves you to like wait for sale, essentially. I don't know. On the flip side, somebody said that there is a place in the game where you can get it for free. I didn't recognize the name or if it's a vendor or if it's a place or what, but there is some way to get it for free. Yeah. I just don't know what it is. I'm very interested to check this out later tonight. I'm going to strap my boots back on and try and get back in the No Man's Sky swing of things, because I am excited about this. So hopefully I can grab a couple game cats to go in here with me and check this out. Also, hopefully, like AJ, somebody who's played more recently than I have, can keep me up to speed. But
we have a No Man's Sky channel in our Discord, so I definitely recommend checking that out. But yeah, you get to the ship, once you find it or whatever, you just teleport to it, or you fly to it. And then, yeah, you actually land on the ship. So I think this is the first time in No Man's Sky. I'm not going to mention it, Brian. Don't worry.
Did you guys have a glitch or something when you landed on
No,
it?
I
wish I had the footage. I wish I had the footage. I'm sitting there and like I'm waiting like 3 minutes for Brian
have limited
to land.
time. We have limited time to play this thing.
and I look up, and I'm just like, And I just see him just floating there, pointing straight down at the ship, and he's moving.
How do I
like
land
maybe half a mile an hour, just like slowly. He's like, I've almost got it, and he's like, it's not working, and he's upside down.
Oh my God. That's
Dude,
awesome.
it took so long. Like it should have been embarrassing, but after a certain point, it's just like so funny. I couldn't even contain myself. That was, oh man. But yeah, I love getting back into this game, and that was a hard lesson to learn for some reason.
So yeah, eventually he did land, and we explored inside. Real quick, let's get these 2 tips out of the way.
Oh, I think there's 3 actually. We got 3 ones. First one. Oh crap! I gotta go.
All right, hit
I'll
Tree Guy for us.
One last time.
Can you leave your screen up? Or, I mean, like turn off your screen, but like not leave the call. Is that possible?
Yes, like this.
Yeah,
like
that.
This?
Yeah, when you leave.
Yeah,
awesome.
I can do that.
Thank you so much.
I'll just leave it like that.
All right, Dave. We'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you for being here.
If I have a chance to come back, I will.
All right, excellent. That first one comes from K Panic, the game cat dreamer, with a $2 donation saying, "Rare tornadoes in heat, meat grinding the scratching post." Is that the second? Is that the second sexual Meatgrinder joke he made. I love it. There's
You
the first
have not
one.
been paying attention to the chat.
No, I apologize. I've been tornadoing.
Ever since I said PS5 nudes, everybody, there's a lot.
Okay.
Second one comes from, speaking of the devil, and he shall appear. That guy is Will VR with a $2 donation. Says, I'm late. I was catching up on the tornado vids.
Nice. Oh, thank you so much,
Will. Everybody, Will was my should we or shouldn't we for his 9-hour, 8-hour live stream yesterday. Fantastic job, man. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for doing that. Your Long Shadows with the 50 Nokios says, very important question. Can you put on a mech suit and then battle the aliens? Because if so, game over, man. Game over.
Game
what
over.
What are we doing here, man?
Nice. It's good. Real good.
Bill Paxton, love you, man.
Can you do that? I can't see. That doesn't seem like a thing.
So I think one of the things I was saying before was one of the cool things that I don't think you've ever been able to do in No Man's Sky was that you can actually land on this ship in space. You can land on this freighter and stand outside of it. I don't know if you've been able to do that before. And so that was really cool. I remember somebody saying like maybe one day you can like land on an asteroid or whatever asteroid field and stand out there. But yeah, that was just cool just to sit there. And I'm like, wow, okay. I don't know. I don't think there's any mech thing. What's really, really cool about this though, is that you get there and everybody's gone. There's nothing. All the power is off. There's actually no gravity. So there's like gloves floating around or hands. There's helmets floating around. There's light sources that Brian couldn't stop touching.
No, in the joke that I love to make was that when you die in VR, the only thing that's left of your body is floating hands, and there are floating hands. There's not like bodies floating around. It's just floating hands. And I was like, these are other VR gamers that just didn't make it.
Right. Yeah, but I love that. So everything about the ship is procedurally generated. I think the first one is not. You do have you do have like the jellyfish at first, and I think that's how it's kind of just trains you.
You're on your own for a second.
Really cool
I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. And yeah, so you get to the first one, it's just jellyfish. But the cool thing is, there's actually a story for each one as well, and the stories on these ships are procedurally generated, which is nuts. And what's up, chat? Everybody's gone now. It's just you and me, chat. What do you guys want to talk about? How you living? No, but yeah, you find these captain's logs. There's actually like a whole history behind the crew, which is really cool. Because you just like basically hear how they died or whatever. It's really spooky. It's spooky. A lot of fun though, man. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they left me. Yeah, what do you guys want to do? Should we summon a Cthulhu? Nobody's here. Now that it's just us, we can summon Cthulhu. AJ Live. Yep. Welcome to the show. I've got a pet too. Screw these guys. I've got an animal here. You want to come up here? No, he doesn't want to come up here. But yeah, and it was just the most amazing thing. And then I ended up getting the platinum trophy. Can you believe that, Brian?
You get the platinum trophy?
Got the platinum trophy.
In No Man's Sky?
No, we're talking about something else now.
Oh, cool. What did I miss?
No, we're still talking about No Man's Sky. A lot of fun, though. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be.
Well,
but I think we've only just begun. There are aliens.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at this trailer, like we didn't see half the stuff in this trailer. I'm sure you already talked about it, but there were all these like little story bits about turrets and about how turrets are gonna, how the turrets were like coming through the walls and stuff. And we see stuff in this trailer, just
it looks like the Persistence, right?
It looks like the Persistence, and we saw very little of that. And how long we played for? What, an hour?
We played for I think it was an hour.
About an hour to get through the first ship, and we didn't see like any of this stuff. So it sounds like this update is fairly big. Do we have any idea? Like, can you just endlessly find these derelict ships?
Yeah, there's one in every single system.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
So, for somebody this is perfect for me. I mean, I love horror. I love exploration, and so it's like two of my favorite things.
Yeah, I will say I was playing this with AJ, and I had zero desire to jump back in for the living ship update. I had zero desire for the mech update. I love mechs and the living ships sound cool, but there's such a barrier to entry with No Man's Sky that if you haven't played for a while, like I hadn't today, it just took me so long to get reacclimated to all the UI and just how to do basic things like crafting. I was like, oh man, I'm not ready for this today, and but this totally worked for me. This was when I saw the trailer, I was like, is this Dead Space? Like, is this what's going on here? And,
Right.
And I'm so happy we jumped in and played this, because this actually, I will say 100% reignited my love of No Man's Sky. I want to jump back in. I want to spend more time with this game and get better at it, and just like you build up my resources and get a better ship and do all the stuff that everyone's been doing for a while. And I know there was some talk in the chat a little bit about the pro patch, about there not being a pro patch, and it is one of those things that when you jump into the game, you go, oh, this does look kind of blurry, and then 10 minutes later, you're like, I don't even notice that shit anymore. This game, because there's so much going on. When you take off from the planet, and then you just leave the planet, and then boom, you're out in the solar system and go flying through asteroid fields and shooting and then going on to this freighter, and I mean, it's all so seamless and so much fun that after just a little while, you don't even notice that it's that blurry.
This game just gets better and better, man. And you can actually play with up to 4 people doing these. So I would love to get the cats together and go exploring, hunting these down. Maybe even tonight we go take a look. But the full list of notes actually is the derelict freighters, proc gen interiors, procedurally generated interiors, deadly turrets plus drones plus aliens, which I saw what one of the little aliens look like, and it was pretty cool. They didn't attack us though. These are not the same aliens. Excuse me. These are not the same aliens as before. These are new ones. Procedurally generated stories, which have like these cool, creepy turns where you end up finding the captain's log and lots of loot. Weapon balance. So that is one thing we didn't mention. They did improve the combat. I was using the scatter blaster, which is like the shotgun. They have actually tweaked the combat, the health, the guns, the ammo, stuff like that for the entire game, which was something that was really sorely needed in this game. So that was good. They also added new lighting and new lens flare. They went full J.J. Abrams, and now the sun has like huge lens flare and a lot of ships, like the flames off the ships and stuff do. One thing that you saw, which was unlockable player titles. I don't really care about player titles, but I gave you some sodium, and then you gave it back to me, and it was like, what did it say?
It's something you gave me, like the generosity title.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, that would be Dark the Generous or something.
Yeah.
There's new unique freighter upgrades, which is really cool. And then finally, this is the cool one. This is besides the haunted freighters themselves. The other really cool thing is they've expanded on the multiplayer missions at the Nexus. Now there's one where you go and you help or assist a like fallen traveler, which is really cool. And then there's another one where you have to go to a world and you scan and you do a bunch of like surveying stuff where you have to scan. I haven't done it yet, but you basically have to survey a world. But fantastic update. They said this is also not the last update. Honestly, man,
I don't think they're ever going to stop updating this thing.
Not to knock Beat Saber, but No Man's Sky has really been doing like a major update constantly for this game. I mean, big ones after big ones after big ones. And I was kind of hoping Beat Saber would have that similar kind of thing, but they're not really. Beat Saber has done some significant updates, but to me, it's like, this stuff is like huge. Yeah. What they're doing, adding crossplay, adding last month was crossplay. Before that was a mech. Before that was a living ships update, and now this, which like really, like you said, it wasn't just these new ships that you run into. There's a whole story driven thing with each of these, and they're procedurally generated, and then there's weapon balancing, freighter customization, and new multiplayer missions. So really just hats off to this game, man, to Hello Games, because they are killing it with this, and I really can't wait to see. I really hope to see more, just more. Give me more.
I mean, and it's free. It's free. You mentioned Beat Saber, as a comparison, and I don't need Beat Saber to be delivering a multiplayer mode or or more in the vein of like the 90-degree modes, that kind of stuff. I don't need any more of that. Like I'm very happy with the core game the way it is. All we're asking from Beat Saber is more fucking
songs.
Paid DLC. We're asking to give you money. Like that.
Right.
That's the crazy part. Is No Man's Sky or Hello Games is delivering and delivering and delivering constantly with crazy fucking things that you would never dream of getting for free, whereas the thing we expect from Beat Saber that we want to give them money for, we're not even getting, which is fucking bonkers, man. I can't believe there's not a new track pack every single month from Beat Games.
Seriously. I mean, it's just blocks, man. You just got to make some blocks and put some music to it.
and that's unfortunately that's unfortunately how we think of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Beat Saber. I know. But
wait,
still.
the mapping probably takes forever, but still, you can't do one pack a month. It's insane. It's insane. Like we want more variety. We want more variety. We want more songs. Dude, I'm playing. I suck at Expert Plus. I don't want anyone to think that I'm like, I'm an Expert Plus player now. But that is the level I'm playing on all the time. I'm failing all the time, but that is the level that I'm playing at. And so, man, at some point I'm going to be like one of these guys that goes, I need more. I've exhausted everything Beat Saber has to offer. So I'm slowly getting there, and I absolutely fucking love it.
Nick Mulo said he ran into the little aliens, and he says those fuckers are persistent.
They're persistent.
Facehugger.
They're persistent.
Facehuggers in VR. Are they like facehuggers, Nick?
Are they persistence?
Are they persistence? The ships really do look like the persistence.
Did we get Darth Vader's $3.99 tip? He said, "Gotta go," but it was a great stream.
No, I don't think we did.
Darth Vader, I'm sure you've been long gone, but thank you so much for the $4 donation. Thank you for being here. I don't know if I had another hand, I'd point with that one too. I like pointing at the screen. It's like those old 3D movies where they just pop popcorn at the screen for no reason. It's like just because it's a 3D effect. It's like, what are we doing here?
I get asked a lot too, and I want to know, chat, let me hear your opinion. I know there's the thing about the blurriness in this game and whatnot. Somebody asked me a lot of the time, or I get asked a lot actually, would you buy a PSVR headset for No Man's Sky? Like, if they were interested in No Man's Sky and they wanted to buy a PSVR headset, of course they'll end up finding more games that are amazing. But would you buy? I guess for you it's kind of weird because like No Man's Sky wasn't even like your jam before. Right.
Which for me is even better. I like that it's new for me. Anytime when people were like, "Oh, Skyrim's great, but it's better in VR," I'm like, "Skyrim was all right. I played it for an hour, and in VR I played it for 100 hours." So,
I am curious to see if we end up getting this this huge update. They've done a summer update, like X Picture X points out. They do a huge summer update every year. It could be different now, though. I don't know. I feel like this year maybe something could be different, but I don't know.
So that kind of brings up the question, man. As far as No Man's Sky is concerned, what doesn't it have that you would want? Like,
that is a good question. I mean, I just want to see it expanded. To be honest with you, I just want to see more biomes and stuff. I would love to see more more ocean animals and stuff like whales. Like I want whales, not space whales, guys, but I would love to see more animals, more like bigger dinosaurs and stuff. We have seen some crazy big dinosaurs with the cats before, but yeah, I would love to see just more biomes basically.
Mark Pringlesleaf actually brings up a good question in the chat. He said, Brian, if Beat Saber was to release paid DLC every month, wouldn't you get fed up paying money out? And the answer is no. Literally, I pay $10, $12 a month for Netflix, that much for Amazon, that much for whatever. Right. And I spend more time in Beat Saber than I do with any of those things. And so I absolutely would be happy paying $10 to $12 a month for new content in Beat Saber. And that's the way to do it, man. It's like instead of being like, just dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars of DLC on the store at once, where you're like, I'm not going to fucking buy all this shit. You dole it out month after month. And that's how you get our money, because we're like, $10 this month, $10 next month, $10 the month after. And I'm a little scared that the reason they're not doing it faster is because they're keeping us thirsty. right? They were going, well, I don't really care about Timbaland, but I'll buy it just because it's new, because, and I gotta say, I wouldn't have bought the Timbaland pack if like a My Chemical Romance pack dropped that same day. I would have bought MCR and just ignored Timbaland altogether. So basically, I think I'm a little worried that like they're only doing this, they're only spacing it out so that like we are thirsty and we're going to buy every fucking piece of DLC that they deliver. That makes me nervous, and so that's why I'm assuming we haven't gotten more regular updates. That said, I actually really enjoyed the Timbaland update. I thought that piece of DLC was really good, and I have a lot of fun with those songs, and it's not something I would have bought otherwise. So. Yeah,
I gotta agree with in regards to No Man's Sky. I gotta agree with Year Long Shadows and Orseek wants to explore caves with a procedural story system like they did with this. And Year Long Shadows says, "I just want to explore." That's what I'm all about with No Man's Sky. There's tons of story driven stuff with it as well. I like these new haunted story things. I think these are pretty cool. But in general, the story isn't what grabbed me. The exploration is what grabbed me in this game. I just want to do. I want like a more of a Pokemon Snap kind of thing, like go find this rare creature,
document it.
Yeah. But
they've created such a cool world, man, with so many possibilities. Like they could do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but I'm cool with what they're doing. I mean, just keep doing what they're doing. The Pro Patch is definitely one thing that I would love to see, or just if PS5 ends up getting support, I want to see this game get just look amazing on the PS5 with the VR headset.
Yeah, if we have to wait for PS5 for that to happen, then I get it. The fact is, think about the percentage of No Man's Sky players that are actually playing in VR. It's so low. When you drop something like this Desolation update, you got millions and millions and millions and millions of gamers that are playing it. But you cut down if you're going to spend all your time working on a PS4 Pro patch for just VR, you're cutting that. All of your work that you're putting into this down to such a tiny fraction of your No Man's Sky players. Hopefully they still do it, but what are you going to do? If it has to take till PlayStation 5 for it to happen, I'm certainly not going to complain.
Same. All right. But yeah, Cats, Discord. Let's get on some No Man's Sky tonight. Let's go see some spooky things.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Dude, so much. We got some news to talk about, don't we?
We have a lot of news. Before we get onto the rest of the news, though, Your Long Shadows said earlier when you walked away and left me by myself, they said, talk about your favorite video game facts, AJ. And I just want to let you know, in my Ask AJ thing in the Discord, Goodbye Bird, she/her, said, gave me a link and said, I'd figure you'd like this. And it was just a bunch of random video game facts. And it's still in there. One that absolutely blew my mind. Some of these I already knew. Some of them I was like, oh yeah, because one of them was like in platformers, there was always a secret little extra ledge. Like, did you ever play a platformer and like, you didn't completely make it, but you still like got off the thing?
Yeah.
Like you landed. There was like, yeah, they would intentionally put like a little secret extra ledge. No, I was not allowed. But anyways, this is about Thumper, and it's one of the facts was Thumper's time signature corresponds to the numerical value of a level. So every level you play in Thumper actually changes the time signature to that number of that level, which is crazy.
Those guys are ridiculously smart. If you ever have a chance to, I forget. One of the developers did an amazing talk about the design of Thumper and about all the different ways that they tried to make it and how they ended up with the system that ended up being in place. And it was fascinating. It was absolutely fascinating to watch this interview. If I can find the link, I'll drop it in. But holy crap, man, the guy's so smart. It's ridiculous.
That is so funny. I just found out that I think that was Your Long Shadows in the Discord. Says he was fishing for it. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I thought that was really cool. That was amazing.
Wait, you're not the same person, are you? Because there's so many people that like I don't even realize.
Everyone has a different YouTube name and a different Discord name. So
right,
yeah.
You're not
well played, Shadows. Well played.
Man, I can't keep up. You guys are too fast for me.
Oh man, I just met original Uber bitch, the game cat, playing Firewall with the cat. Well, so anyways, we'll get into that because now we are going to talk about real quick onto the news. First, Firewall tournament we just wrapped up. Big shout out to our moderator Rye who put the crazy ass event together. We had like 9 different teams that battled. I was not supposed to be entered, but I ended up being entered because Nick Mulo chickened out and didn't want to do it anymore. No, I'm kidding. His cable got cut. But we have another anybody that has Final Assault. We have a new tournament for Final Assault coming up. You win a bunch of PSN codes. But big shout out to everybody who participated in the Firewall tournament with Syndicate. We got to play like a lot of that update as well. And man, Firewall to me is just still so good. Now I'm like around 400 plus hours in this game, and it is fantastic. And we had so much fun, and it was amazing. Big shout out to the winners. Team 1. It was Guy Sun, Dennis Menduso, David, I think, and Creeper Betty. And then big
David
shout
Moore.
out.
Yeah.
David Moore. That's right. And then big shout out to my team as well. Boyd Cat. Shit. Hold on. What happened?
Was original Uber bitch on your team?
No. We played against them. But
okay.
Let's see here. God, you know what's funny is like whenever you like you have something planned and then you get there and like you completely blank.
Yeah.
And now I'm completely blanking.
That's my whole world.
Yeah. Big shout out to my team. Sorry guys. We ended up doing really well though. Which was awesome because we just didn't even practice or anything. But Firewall is amazing, man. So much fun. And it's amazing that our team, without being like warmed up or anything, we were able to just use communication, man. That game is all about communication and how far communication can take you.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, it hurt.
Wait, is he just dropping in to do that? Is that what's going on? Is Dave just dropping in to hit things for tips? That's awesome.
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
Well, in that case, thank you, Dave. Let's give a shout out to the Triangulator with a $14.99 donation, saying appreciate you guys for fostering such an amazing community and giving us great down to earth content. Meow. Well, meow, right back at you. And thank you for being part of such an amazing community. I say it all the time. I have no idea how this community came to be because I'm such a fucking recluse. You guys are the ones that pulled me out of my shell, and so I'm so happy that you guys are, you guys are having similar stories out there.
It's the cool thing with these tournaments, man. You get to meet so many new game cats. By the way, my team was Ash 454.
Okay.
And the Milo Man, and then of course Void Cat, Game Citizen. Wow. But yeah, I met original Uber bitch for the first time, and I was like talking to him, and his name was like Jedi. No, not Jedi Phoenix. His name was like Phoenix something on PSN, and I was like, what? I was like, what's your what's your YouTube name? And then he said that. I was like, oh, dude, and I was like, I know you, man. Like, I talk to you like every day, but then they have different PSN names. It's crazy.
Yeah. Since I don't have a chance to play with the cats as much as I like, I have accept all the friend requests I get, and then I have no idea who's who. I know everybody by their Discord names and YouTube names more than PSN names for sure. But yeah, having PSN, Discord, and YouTube names all being different, it's amazing that I know who anybody is anymore. I love it. Dave Station VR in the chat says, Tree Guy will not be silenced. He will speak out of turn as he pleases. And that gives us Delirium Drew VR's tip with the $4.99 donation. Saying, Rye Pop, fist bump. Looks like fist bump over and over. Keep those tournaments coming. It was long, but such an amazing day playing against so many cats. Meow, meow. A little cat with a party hat on. Party hat. Party hat cat.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for the next one. Now it is time for the real news. And after being on such a high for so long, we got a little bit of not so great news.
No.
Road to VR reports Mist Studios' upcoming VR adventure Firmament delayed beyond 2021. And they say this comes from Scott Hayden over there at Road to VR. Big shout out to them. Love them. It says, quote, Cyan, the studio behind iconic puzzle adventure games Myst 1993 and Ribbon 1997, garnered their fair share of success with their April 2019 Kickstarter campaign, which sought to bring to life their next VR-compatible tile, Firmament. Now, science says the game will be delayed well past its originally projected July 2020 release date, calling it wildly optimistic. End quote.
My one response to this.
Oblivion? Wait, was it called Oblivion?
Oh, Abduction?
Abduction, sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of my response for sure. My response for this is like, good, fucking delay your game because because Abduction did not translate to PSVR very well. I mean, like literally taking a game with full locomotion and really sharp, nice looking worlds and just turning it into a blurry mess with teleportation and load screens every 2 seconds. I mean, it was an abomination, and it was basically Cyan admitting we don't know how to make this thing work in VR. We're really sorry. Like it was an embarrassment, and I hate to say that about any team that puts a lot of love into their games. But man, unless you played Myst 1 back in the day, and you're like, oh yeah, click 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 click, and you're like you were dying for another one of those. Unless you had that nostalgia factor for that, it was awful. And so it's like, good man, delay your game, get it on PS5, get it on PSVR 2, and like fucking wait until the power can back up your vision, because right now it doesn't seem like you have that capability.
Definitely, yeah, I don't know. I didn't actually play Abduction yet. I just know all the horror stories. I've heard some mixed things. I've heard Polish Paul really liked it, and
this is why I don't trust Polish Paul. Like, why are you telling people that this game is better? It got slightly sharper in the resolution, but the load screens are still just as frequent. It doesn't look that much better. I mean, I played the crap out of this thing. Des and I did a Why We Love episode on it, and I was just like, man, it's at its core, it's a good game because the VR mode was made out of a good game. But man, it's just like this. There's no reason for it to be like this. No reason whatsoever.
I shouldn't say that. Where are you, Polish Paul? Come, defend yourself.
Don't. If you say his name 3 times, he shows up, and then we'll have to set Polish Paul traps all around the apartment, and it's going to take forever to get rid of him. It's going to be an infestation of Polish Pauls.
So we do have another donation.
Fuck you! I'm Tree Guy. Okay.
And that is Joe Grover, the effing Game Cat, with a $5 donation. Says it's cool to see your progress in speaking and hosting from watching early vids to now.
Oh, no, don't
Good
watch old
stuff by all 3 of you nuts.
Don't watch the old stuff. I should make it all private. That shit's fucking terrible.
Put it on Patreon.
Oh my god, not even. I just want it to disappear from existence. Yeah. No, yeah. It's so funny because there will be people who are like, you can just tell that they're like taking a day off from life, and I will see their comments on like Gaming Without Parole episode 001. I'm like, what are you doing back there? What are you doing watching this shit? It's crazy. And then I'll see it on the second episode and third episode and some old reviews. I'm like, oh god. But yeah, I'm really proud of where we are now and how far we've come. It's been quite the journey. Some people are really good at shit from the get-go, man. I used to have a friend when I was like 15. We were in a band together, and I was like struggling to switch from a C chord to a D chord, and he's like playing like Meat Puppets fucking solos with like by ear. I'm like, what the fuck? He was like a year younger than me too, which was driving me crazy. Some people are just good at things, and I've never been one of those people. I've always had to practice a lot to be good at anything. So that's what we're doing here, I guess.
Nihilist Brian, the game feline, says, I really liked Abduction exactly because I love the first Myst so much.
There you go. Nailed it.
I did like Myst. I'm wondering now, I'm like, maybe I should play it someday.
Yeah. And again, it's like no offense to anybody who liked it the way it was, but it was obviously it was just that way because that's the only way they could make it happen. So.
All right. So moving on. Headmaster Perp Games, it has a pre-order now live for a Headmaster Extra Time Mini Football Signed Edition from the Perp Games store. This one comes with mini footballs, which are actually soccer balls, but they're British, so they're footballs to them.
You just can't teach some people.
Yeah, pretty coll stuff.
So it's Headmaster limited edition, yeah.
It is a limited edition. I'd imagine these are still available. So,
what is going on over at Perp, AJ? What is going on over there? They introduce limited edition things like Also, did Dave just change his background? What is
He
going
did,
on here?
but I like this. I actually like his avatar more than I like Dave. So
Oh
it's
wow,
cool.
wow! What just happened there? We're gonna move on from that real fast. But dude,
Well,
you
Ripley.
no, I get you with a cat.
I like. To be fair, I like Ripley more than like everybody. So
Yeah, I'm probably with you on that. But dude, you go over to the perp store, and they're like, we have a limited edition, only 100 being made of the binary mill collection, right? It's like the 3 games packed in like one cardboard sleeve, only 100 made. It's like still not sold out, And then they do the pixel ripped thing with like the pink cassette tape, and that was super limited, still not sold out. I mean, I don't know. You have to check, but like it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, and this shit still doesn't sell out. I don't know. Does perp just not get enough love? Is that what's happening over there? We're just.
I don't know. I mean, I tried to buy stuff from them, and they said they would like send me the details to buy stuff, and I never saw it. So that obviously doesn't help.
Oh yeah, that doesn't help.
When somebody wants to buy your thing, and you don't get one, but I think Perp does a great job overall.
And in fairness, I think that was a very special situation. You weren't talking to like the woman who runs the perp store, right? You were talking to one of their PR guys.
I filled out like 3 different places.
Okay, well then I take it back.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously because of it's probably because the pandemic going on. I would imagine.
Dude, it's still available. The limited edition binary mill collection is still available. Again, that was only 100. I want to. I got to go check on this. I got to check on this pixel rip thing. So the pixel rip thing. How many of these are being made? Only 1,500 will ever be sold, and it is still available. Yep, still available for pre-order. And so I mean, I would love to be in a rush to pre-order this Headmaster thing, but I don't feel like any urgency. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to sell out. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyways, good game, lots of fun.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, man. Headmaster doesn't get enough love. It was one of those launch titles that just tried something totally different with VR that wouldn't work any other way, and it's great, man. It's great once you get it down. Because I think the first time everyone plays it, they're like, I don't know, this isn't working for me. And then after a couple of days, you're like, oh, I got this down. Yeah, this is good.
What's up, Balloonky? All right, so moving on. Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator both got a patch from Alchemy Labs, and Vacation Sim got a hard crash fix where it actually said there was a specific crash. When you remember where there was like that knitting station and you could like knit stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was a crash where if you were to knit a slingshot, and they kind of called people out like, who the hell's knitting slingshots over there? But Job Simulator also got a pro patch. They said like some increased resolution. And I got to tell you, man, I tried this out and I didn't actually notice anything because the game already looks amazing. So
yeah, it was super weird. Sharp to begin with. Any game that has that kind of like cartoon aesthetic is able to like run at a much higher resolution already. I never thought that Job Simulator or Vacation Simulator needed any kind of improvements as far as resolution goes. So it's cool that they did it. Like that's one of the things where you're like, this game was a launch game. It came out almost 4 years ago. It's like you're giving it a pro patch. Thank you, but that's shocking.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone that says No Man's Sky will never get a pro patch, there you go.
Well,
I had that joke in the PSVR this week as well.
Thank you very much. Also, yeah, we also said, I think all 3 of us, Dave especially, is on record for saying that No Man's Sky will never get a PSVR patch. Like we just thought that was impossible. So the fact is who knows, man? Anything's possible. That's what we like to say around here. Can we take care of some tips, man? I feel like they're starting to pile up.
Yeah.
All right, let me back
We've
up
got
a little bit.
Bitjello Boy 30, that jiggly gamer cat with a $10 donation. A great viewer takeover intro, by the way, man. Absolutely love that. And he says, here is some money for tornado food. We need to make sure we keep that cyclone strong so she can grow from an F0 to an F1 and beyond. Much love and many meows.
Meow, meow. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. And Tornado will absolutely appreciate that, too.
Filming that viewer takeover, man, she was definitely lived up to her name. The first time she was on camera, just
yeah. It's weird, man. It's weird. She's so quickly realized. Like I made a space like right over here off camera. There's a whole area. Like my I used to have this gigantic printer that was also a scanner and a fax machine and everything. Oh, who the fuck faxes things? It was like took up this whole area over here. Like this area here, it's just as big over here. And I cleared out that whole area so she could hang out with me and sit with me while I do anything at this desk. 'Cause I'm at this desk all the time, editing and doing shows and stuff. And she's like, anything that's for her, like the space I cleared out with the blanket and toys and everything, not interested whatsoever. Not interested at all. She's like, I'm just going to go hang out over here and do something far away from you, especially if you want me near you. I'm like, all right, cool. Antisocial cat. No surprises here. Also, we got Amplify, the game cat, with a $2 donation saying, do you guys use VR lenses? Are these the things that you put on the lenses to protect them?
Yes, no.
No, I don't wear glasses. Even though I should.
I'm supposed to wear glasses as well. I only really use them for driving and for movie theaters. And no.
I don't use them for anything. I'm like, whoops. But yeah, it's like I can only imagine that the only reason to use VR protective lenses, whatever you want to call them, is because you wear glasses and you're afraid of scratching the lenses themselves.
That would make sense.
But because we've definitely heard of a lot of people who have scratched their lenses, have to return it to Sony, pay a certain amount to get it fixed, or if it's under warranty, you don't have your headset for a couple of weeks. It's terrible, and I feel awful for anybody who does that. But yeah, I mean, if anyone in the chat uses these things, and has like stories to tell, whether they've been good or bad, we would like to know, because obviously you don't want to put anything on the lenses that might damage them. You know,
right.
You don't want to clean the lenses with alcohol of any kind. You just use a microfiber cloth. You know, it's like that shit's gonna like deteriorate the lens eventually. It'll wear away at the coating, and the coating is very, very important. It's one of the things that actually prevents scratches. So be very careful with the lenses, no matter what you do.
All right, so we got some new gameplay from Ven VR showing off the time trials. Just wanted to revisit this game real quick, and they actually did this whole cool thing on Twitter today where they were like 500 followers or something, and so they made this whole animation out of Ven, who just looks like such to be an awesome character. And that game is just shaping up to be really beautiful. They recently showed some more like some soundtracks, some more enemies. They showed like this water level that looks really good. But yeah, as a platformer, this is the next, besides like Moss Book 2, which is never really going to happen. This Ven VR Adventure is just a game that I'm really looking forward to, but it did get delayed from summer to now, most likely like quarter 3, quarter 4 of this year.
Yeah, and that's fine. You know, take your time. We always say that there's plenty of games coming out. In fact, Q4 is looking pretty quiet right now. Right, and I don't know if that's because a lot of projects have moved over to PlayStation 5 or whatever the hell's happening with that. But right now, Q4 is looking real quiet. So if you're gonna delay your game, Q4 is a nice place to put it. It's like we don't know what's going on out there. And this would be such a nice winter game to play. Like we know when the weather gets a little colder and you just want something that puts you into a tropical world with a cute little furry animal to play as. This is something I would love to stay inside and play. So, do you have any concerns about this, or is it all love from your perspective?
All love for me, man. This game looks fantastic. By the way, everyone who's saying who wears glasses in the headset, a lot of them say they do scratch up their PSVRs with glasses. So, yeah, if you wear glasses, maybe especially like thick glasses, maybe it is time to consider some of those lenses. But absolutely love the look of this game, and yeah, I can't wait to see more on it. I think honestly, I want to know more about this team. I want to know like how big this team is, because really the artwork and everything looks fantastic. Obviously, it's a Crash and Ratchet thing going on there, but it's also got its own story and such. So, and the soundtrack is phenomenal. So I cannot wait to see more on this.
So here's my only concern. Right. My only concern with Ven is that it looks like a standard 3D platformer. Like it looks like a Ratchet and Clank. It looks like a Jack and Dexter. It looks like a Crash Bandicoot. Right. But I'm looking for the reason that what reasons does it take advantage of VR in any regard whatsoever, or are they just building a 3D platformer and putting it into VR? I'm fine if that's the case, as long as it's a good, 3D platformer.
Right.
But man, like Astrobot really excelled when it took advantage of VR.
Right. I totally agree. I mean, game mechanics wise, it was so deep and all that. To me, I just think, I don't know. To me, this visually looks appealing enough. Maybe some of the way the platforming, platformers can kind of get away with it just by the puzzle of the platforming is gauging that depth, that 3D depth,
Right.
and having something like that. So maybe, I don't expect anything like super crazy interactive like that. I mean, they do show you like petting Ben, but in terms of like the gameplay itself, I haven't seen anything super out of this world.
But I think even petting Ven is out of the question for PSVR because this is a DualShock 4 game on
Possibly.
PSVR. I talked to them and they were like, yeah, it's not move supported. So
Right.
it's possible that you have a hand that's attached to the DualShock 4, so you might be able to
Right.
reach out in the world and pet him. But suddenly that's like if you're a person in first person, as the trailer shows, playing on other platforms with two analog sticks and two hands in the world. I'm wondering exactly how all that plays in together. Is there a point in being a first person character in this 3D world with a hand, or is it just going to be, oh, you get to pet the character? Do I get to like, grab a lever in the world and pull it? Do I get to like knock down a wall with my hand? What is that all about? I need to know, man. And that's the stuff I'm looking forward to more than even seeing more level design, hearing more of the soundtrack. I want to know more about the gameplay.
What I can tell you is that they are aware of this and that they,
I'm very happy.
if there is some, and that they are trying to make a solution for that. So that's all I know.
Cool.
All right. So moving on, Star Wars Squadrons comes out October 2nd.
Wait. Let's do tips before we move on.
Tips.
Real
All
quick.
right. K-Panic, the Game Cat Dreamer. Dreams next week. Thank you for reminding me. $1.99 donation says Meatgrinder Book 2. Anyone?
So that's the third hookup app reference he's made with the Meatgrinder update. Okay, it's all right. Maybe we'll change the title of the video to the Meatgrinder puns. I like it. Thank you so much for the donation, Meatgrinder Book 2. I would totally be down. Let's do that.
We've also got Nick, the Game Cat, how with the $4.99 donation says whoop whoop.
Sweet.
Nice. That's it.
Nice. Thank you so much. I like whoop whoops.
Just bringing the party.
Awesome.
All right, so Star Wars Squadrons comes October 2nd, and guys, there's been this whole back and forth about whether or not it's going to support HOTAS. Let's get one thing straight here. They did not say at any point that there will not be console support for HOTAS. They said that right now that there's only PC support,
right?
And that they said originally on the website and in the trailers and stuff, they're like HOTAS is supported. They didn't say only on PC,
right?
It was a dev that was asked, and that was once the dev was asked, kind of behind the scenes or in the Discord and stuff, is when they said, oh no, it's only it's not happening right now.
Right.
And then everybody started freaking out. So I think with all the good news is that with all this commotion about it, I think they will definitely know that this is something we absolutely want and absolutely would be a huge oversight.
It doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense for it not to be there. Like, let's get that out there right now. It's not
right.
like you have a DualShock 4 game, and then we asked you to implement hands in full movement for two move controllers. It is literally just copying and pasting the DualShock 4 controls into the HOTAS, and then tweaking a few different things. It's not that difficult, and we've heard this from other developers. It's not a huge deal to add HOTAS support to games that already use the DualShock 4. So don't freak out. That's the message. Don't freak out. Like I would totally bet a pizza that there will be HOTAS support at launch.
Yeah, me too. And again, they said more details closer to launch. I almost thought at one point that maybe they were working on some kind of like Thrustmaster Special Edition, like TIE Fighter HOTAS. And I thought maybe that's why they were holding off to do that. But I figured that would be compatible with PC as well. But yeah, the messaging, it's amazing to me. If let's say, for instance, God forbid that it doesn't happen, it would be really embarrassing for EA, I think, to not have that, because you've got small teams of like 2 people, teams of 1 people
Right.
that have added HOTAS support into games, into VR games. So unless there was like some crazy licensing thing, which I seriously doubt, that would be the only way. But that would be, again, a huge oversight, a big embarrassing thing for EA to have to deal with, because I mean, you've literally got teams of like 1 or 2 people that are able to do this, and you're telling me you can't. Like who's paying you to withhold that stuff? It's the PC Master Race.
Oh my God.
They're paying. But anyways, for the record, let me add one more thing. You like at one point you said in an interview that the dude said that one of the directors or something, directors said that there was going to be no VR support for single player, right?
Well, they said currently. So yeah, I think this was on the
Same thing.
Not the PlayStation blog, but this.
The PlayStation blog says there is 100%
yeah,
single player and multiplayer support in VR.
Right.
I think you were saying. I think it was VentureBeat or Polygon or something.
Yeah, I feel like it was Polygon. That sounds right. But yeah, VentureBeat could have totally been the case too. There was certainly an interview out there where they said the multiplayer is going to have VR support, and we'll see what we have time for with single player. And I was like, that. No one said a word about that. No one freaked out about that. And now the message, of course, just days later changed over on the PlayStation blog, who you would think has the official word on everything, that the entire game input from start to finish playable in VR, all modes. And so just don't freak out. There's some really mixed messaging going on out there about this, and HOTAS support is the one thing I wouldn't worry about, to be honest with you. Yeah,
it's just crazy to me that the messaging is so poor. For you, you just don't get this from. You wouldn't expect this from a huge company like this, but maybe that is the more likely place you find stuff like this.
Right, because who's in charge over there? When you have so many moving parts, like which one is the one actually delivering the message? When you have developers being interviewed individually and saying these things, and the company as a whole is like, no, that's not the company line on this. So it's tough. When we interview somebody like Reggie at Strange Games, we know that he is talking as not only the publisher, the developer, and the guy in charge of the whole thing. He says something, and we know it to be true for his game. But when we talk, to a single developer in a team of 150, 200 developers at EA,
right,
then
all have different parts,
right, and you're getting one piece of the message, and it might not be accurate.
Right. So, but I still would like them to clear it up. That's the one thing that bothers me, though, is that they just won't. Well, I guess, again, because maybe it's not added yet. The game still comes out in October, so maybe it just isn't out yet. Maybe they've been polishing other things in the game. So, but I would totally expect this to be at launch, and not worried about it at all.
Yeah. So, message of the day: don't freak out. And as the chat, and as the chat was like, Brian, you're freaking out. I'm like, I know I'm freaking out. I'm so sorry. The chat's been hilarious, by the way. I've been trying to keep an eye on you guys. You were all fucking awesome.
They are awesome. All right. So final news story of the day, guys. Hold on. K-Panic, the Game Cat Dreamer, with the $1.99 donation says, how about HOTAS for No Man's Sky while flying? That is something I've written them about.
I don't get the pun.
No Man's Sky.
That's not punny. I don't get the pun. Where's the sex up joke in that?
Yeah, where's the Meatgrinder joke in that?
Fucking bullshit. I'm so mad right now.
As much as I love No Man's Sky for what they do, they are not very like social, or they do not directly acknowledge like community feedback. Like they like to just surprise you with things. And I think some of this maybe has to do with like, I mean, imagine the kind of feedback they get is probably insane.
Can I ask a stupid question? I'm going to ask a stupid question. If No Man's Sky got HOTAS support for while you're flying, what would you do? Just let the move controllers dangle from your wrist while you grab the HOTAS and throw it in your lap? Like, it seems really cumbersome to be like, okay, I'm just going to use this controller for when I do this specific thing, and then I'm out of the ship. Get rid of the HOTAS controller and move controllers. I just feel like it's so cumbersome. I can't imagine wanting to do that, even though flying in No Man's Sky with the HOTAS controller would be awesome. Unless I'm going to walk around with the HOTAS controller somehow. I don't know if I want to do this.
I do usually. I mean, I like the in-game HOTAS that they do, like emulate using the moves. I also like the HOTAS in Ultra Wings more than the actual one, using the actual HOTAS. I like using I like using the move controllers for Ultra Wings. I know people that actually switch to the DualShock 4 when flying in No Man's Sky.
Okay.
I think you should just stick with it. Personally, I think you should just stick with the move controllers and get better with it. But yeah, there are people that actually switch to the DualShock 4, and that to me is like
that's a little less bulky. I feel like that's a little more convenient. Just like grab it from a table next to you or something. But still, I don't know. I can see it, but it just seems like a lot of work.
Joe Grover with the $2 donation. Joe Grover, the effing game cat. Sorry, I need to call you by your real title. It says, "Don't freak out, Grinder."
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Let me check to see if I have any new notifications on Grindr.
Pull over that ass too fat. Whoop whoop.
What to do?
Folks, I'm back.
All right,
Sorry,
so
but I made it through work and I'm back. Can you guys see and hear me?
We can see and hear you, AJ. I got to change this so that you're not AJ anymore.
Oh, I wanted to be AJ. I've always wanted to be AJ.
Well, I can leave it.
I look dumb in hats. You guys look cool in hats. I want to be one of you guys.
No, not only on this stream do I look good in a hat. In real life, walking around with a hat, I look really dumb. But for some reason, just this angle, not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the funny thing is when we met up in real life, everyone looked different than we thought they would because
my God.
we see this bit of a person, it's like you think something in your head.
Delirium Drew says, seriously, Delirium Drew says, seriously though, can we just start calling it a flight stick? It is a flight stick. It's also
gotta call it a HOTUS. HOTUS.
Gotta call it HOTUS.
I just like when people get confused about what HOTUS means and they're like, what's a HOTUS? And they spell it wrong. And
HODUS.
Whatever, yeah. But yeah, flight stick totally works as well. I'm down with whatever you guys want to call it. Yeah. Don't freak out, Grinder. I love
so
the joke.
What did I miss? Anything important? Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, cool.
We only have actually one more news story.
You're talking squadrons?
We were talking squadrons, talking about HOTUS. I'm sorry, about flight sticks potentially being or not being supported on the PlayStation 4.
Now, I said this in the chat. I don't know if you guys said this in person because I missed it, but I'll reiterate. I think it would be really, really silly because the HOTUS that we have is identical PS4 PC. It works on both the same exact way. You can just plug it in the USB. So if it already has support in the code for the exact same peripheral, I have to imagine it's obvious that they would put it on PS4, even if they haven't specifically announced it. I wouldn't be surprised if they get this petition. They're like, guys, don't freak out. Like, it's already in there. Like, maybe we weren't clear, but it's obviously in there. So I'm hoping that's the way it goes. We'll see.
Sanador the Game Tiger says, I like pronouncing it hot ass. I like that.
Hot ass. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say hot ass.
Rogue TR says, Dave's back. Now we have a show. I like that.
That's right.
Asher Holloway says, what Crisis Brigade should people get first?
The second one.
Interesting.
That's what I said.
I think so.
I'm going to go with the first one because I feel like you should play both of them, and I feel like going backwards would be
a lot harder.
Might be difficult.
Yeah, there's quality of life improvements in the second one. Like, if you only want one version of this type of game, get the second one. But if you're
buying both,
enough, because there is, even though it's a totally different art style, the mechanics are generally the same outside of the upgrade system. And despite the way it looks, the stages are fairly interesting. Like, there's 3 different levels, and they have some stuff that doesn't happen in this one, like when you're in the chopper and you pick up the big gun and you're like shooting those guys, those kind of action moments. I didn't get that far in this one, but I didn't see any of those on the streams. So that's a little different, but if you like the concept, definitely play both. And I guess Brian's right. In that case, you should start with the first one so you can be excited about the improvements in the second one instead of going backwards.
And it's only $9. I feel like that's just a staple that kind of belongs in your library for $9. $20, it's when you start going, I don't know, should I don't maybe I should wait for the patch, the 3-player co-op. This is like $9. Just go fucking buy it, man. It's so good.
To that point too, I think it's a smaller investment for people who aren't sure if they want to play it or not. So if you like the gameplay in the first one, the second one is a must own. You will have to have it. But you spent $10 less to figure out if you liked it or not. You know what I mean? So if you spent $20 on the new one, you said, this isn't really my bag. You could have saved $10 by just seeing with the first one if you like it or not. So I agree with Brian, actually, after my first kind of seat of the pants reaction there.
Somebody make a note about that. Dave and I never agree on anything.
That's not true.
I know. I just wanted to start a fight because you and AJ always fight, and I never get to fight with anybody. It's
We
fucking
didn't get a chance
bullshit.
to fight this time. I think last time I was fighting with AJ was on the voice chat. We were talking about Star Wars movies, and I don't want to bring that up here because we're not fighting about Star Wars movies on this GAMESCast.
Dave,
We'll be
Dave
here
really
for quite
liked
a while.
Last Jedi, and I didn't really like it very much.
I think it's good. I think it's much better than Rise of Skywalker, and I think it's more interesting than
And here
Force
we go.
Awakens. Although,
He's
and
like,
then that's all I'll say because
All right.
there's no room for
Big
debate.
Man is out.
Hold on, we got a tip. Mick Main. I've never seen Mick Main before. $2.99 donation. It's got a cool little emoji.
Oh,
It says
nice.
Fist bump.
Fist
I've never seen
bump.
that fist bump emoji. That's really cool.
That is
We gotta
awesome.
Introduce that into the lexicon. People got to start using that because we're all about the fist bumps over here.
Yeah, and if you just tuned in, GamerChick13 says PSVR without Parole has the best Discord. We have to agree with her. The link is in the description. Make sure that you click that link, join our Discord, and hang out with where this conversation happens like 24/7.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so AJ is gone. I don't know why. He was just bringing up Pangman, but then I hit Tree Guy and I scared him off.
That's
so
all
I'm
right.
going to bring up the website for Pangman from Ivanovich Games, which is you may know as the people who brought us what is that? Operation Warcade, which I actually really enjoyed. And then they also made another game. What was the
Blaster?
other game they made? I didn't like Beat Blaster.
And then they
I'm
made
one of the
touring
ones who-
cards.
Touring cards is okay. I like touring cards pretty well.
Yeah.
So Pangman, I'm looking at here.
So I like
looks like
all
it-
three of their games. I got to be honest. Beat Blaster, I know.
Beat Blaster is no good.
Yeah,
But
it's
You're right.
divisive.
We never agree on anything.
It's divisive, but that's not the point. The point is that this is their new game that they announced. It is coming to PlayStation VR later this year, so it does not have the same release date as like Steam and PC or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. What do you think of this trailer, man?
I'm not looking at the trailer. I'm actually looking at the website.
What does the
we're gonna
website have to
different
say?
Perspectives on this.
Talk to
This is
me.
interesting. What I see is a chibi Neo from The Matrix.
Okay.
And they have this thing on their page that says Pangman in 12 words. Can I read you the 12 words?
Yeah, let's do this.
First one is, they all have descriptions underneath, but it would take me like 5 minutes to read all the descriptions. So I'll just read the words. Word number 1, fun. 2 is nostalgia. 3 is simple.
No.
4 is direct. And this is actually important. I'm going to call out the subtext here. Underneath direct, it says no loading times or complex tutorials, intuitive mechanics, and gameplay. No loading times. I like that thought after Iron Man, especially. The next one is sickness, which is not the word that they should have chosen. They should have chosen the word comfort, because what they said is action takes place inside an arcade simulation and there's no need to move, so there's no possibility of motion sickness. They really should have used the word comfort there instead of sickness. But anyways, humor, and that they mentioned they're referencing the Matrix saga in their humor sub-bullet. Social, cooperative mode, and also an arena mode with up to 8 players. That's kind of cool, actually. Pangman, room scale, and you can even play it sitting down. The next word is Matrix. Just the word Matrix, which means the characters are inspired by the Matrix saga, as well as the dynamic timer, a slow motion power up that takes us inside the Matrix universe. So this whole chibi Matrix thing they're going for is very clearly indicated in the PR stuff.
I love that you're reading this as I'm watching the trailer going, none of this seems to pertain to the shit that I'm watching right now.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I can only tell you what I'm seeing on the website.
You're going to be fucking blown away by it. You're going to be like, this does not look at all like the thing I just described.
Probably not, yeah. But I mean, does it look like the Matrix? I feel like that's the only one that I feel like it's going to kind of look like, because I'm looking at the main character and he's definitely like baby Neo with Nerf guns is what it looks like to me. But the final 3 words, replayability.
Okay.
Story mode includes 140 levels.
Story mode.
And there's also, that's crazy. Yeah, and it says cooperative or single player.
Yeah.
The next one is beautiful. Just the word beautiful. They think their game looks really good. And the final one is just the word sounds. Take that as you will.
I'm glad it has sounds.
But they say Spatializer 3D sound effects, original soundtrack including 30 different themes. So that's what that means. And then it says, what's Pangman?
Oh,
Pangman
good. A
takes you
description of
inside-
the game. Good.
Yeah. Pangman takes you inside a VR classic arcade game experience where your goal is to burst as many spheres as possible by using a pair of guns that transform into hooks when you throw them. Oh, that doesn't sound like the Matrix. That's kind of an interesting thing. And once again, they say complete 140 story mode levels in individual or co-op. and enjoy frantic multiplayer games with up to 8 players. Not bad. Q3 2020. That's not too far, right?
Here's what I'm seeing in this trailer. I'm
going to look at the trailer now so I can see what you're saying.
Absolutely. It looks like you can run around these arenas with full locomotion.
They said there was no need to move in the thing. They said sickness. There will be no sickness.
Yeah, most of it looks like you're standing...
Right? This is the silliest little version of the Matrix thing where they're all in the little orbs, like curled up in their fetus things.
Yeah, this is...
It's a very...
They got the glasses like, oh, this is Chibi Matrix, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the first time I saw it, I was kind of like, because, Ivanovich really stepped up their game with touring cars, I thought.
Brian, you're right. This looks nothing like what they described. How is this a story? It looks like you're just in a little room the whole time.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, well, I like the backgrounds that out in the back. They've got that sort of like ancient Japanese style pagoda thing, even though there's like matrixy letters flying over it. But yeah, what is this? Kind of weird.
Yeah, it seems a little bit like asteroids, right? Like you're shooting these orbs and they kind of separate into smaller orbs, and then you shoot those. And it looks like some of the levels have full locomotion. It looks like some of them don't. I don't know if that's the case.
There's a point in this trailer where they show somebody who's like disembodied outside the arena, and they're somehow interacting with stuff. Well, like they're looking in at the people who are playing. And
look at the beginning. Look at the beginning of the trailer. It looks like you are outside the machine to begin with. Then when you grab the guns, you're a character inside the machine. And so I think that's supposed to be you out there.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Richard Baki says,
multiplayer. Oh, go ahead, AJ. Sorry.
Richard Baki says, "Am I the only one who remembers Super Pang? This is the VR version."
Yeah. So Super Pang is a classic. I got to look up a trailer just to make sure I'm not speaking.
Is this like a twist on Pong? Is Pang a twist on Pong or no?
Perfect.
It looks like there are these bouncing balls that kind of look like Pong.
This is definitely.
This is good. This is the game I was thinking of. It's basically, you guys remember Buster Brothers, Super Buster Brothers?
Yes.
Same game.
I've never played that one.
Same game. It's like inside.
Is this like a shooting version of Jezball? You guys remember Jezball? Is that what it's called? Jezball?
I don't remember. But it's like
Jezball. Yeah, it was pre-installed on all computers in Windows 1992. It's that one where there's balls bouncing and you make a line and you got to keep them from bouncing, and then I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking
about. Basically Super Buster Brothers was a 2D side-scrolling version of this. Not side-scrolling, they were single screens, but it was 2D characters, and you would shoot up at the balls that were coming down, and now you were inside of the game shooting the balls. So it's just, I was like, if you're gonna make a VR version of a classic arcade game, I don't know if this is the one that I want it to be.
It seems to me like Ivanovich is going in this kind of art style direction. Like this and Touring Carts both have a similar kind of something about them where it's very colorful, bright, simple, almost like kid-oriented in a way. These are Matrix characters, but they're so chibi and cute, and their heads are really big, and they look silly and stuff. Right. So I think that goes with Touring Carts pretty well, as opposed to Beat Blaster doesn't look anything like this, and neither does Operation Warcade. So for me, still my favorite game they've ever made is Operation Warcade. Although I know some of the updates kind of botched it a little bit on PSVR.
I don't want to, I hate judging a game by its trailer, but that's all we have right now. This game could be totally fun. We'd be like, oh, sweet, I can't wait to jump in and play some Pangman with you guys. It's going to be great,
Hangman,
and the more, the merrier. 8 players.
Yeah. I wish there was like Hangman mixed with Pong. Like you're playing some kind of you got a thing up here, and you've got a Pong ball coming at you, and you bounce it towards the letter you think is the next one.
Yeah.
And you guys can all play together, and it's, hey, it's my turn. I'm going to bounce it back over here. That's not a good idea. No one should make that game.
Also, Pangman is not a very good name for a game either.
Hangman is a bad, I will say. But if it's from that concept of the Super Pang, is that what you said the game is called? Then that makes sense if people understand the reference. I never saw or heard of Super Pang. But let's do this.
Let go of me! Unhand me!
One of our newest Game Cats, K-Panic the Game Cat Dreamer, he says, Jizzball? This isn't Meatgrinder, Dave. Damn it, I said Jezball. Somebody in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Drew knows what I'm talking about.
K-Pang's just getting back on his inappropriate puns.
Yeah.
Which we really appreciate around here, of course. Thank you so much for the donation. I don't know, guys. Later this year, obviously, so we'll have plenty of time. Well, I'm sure we'll hear the impressions over on PSVR and get a little bit of assessment on whether we should or should not be excited for this game.
In the same way that AJ plugs his Twitter constantly, I'd like to say that if you guys want to see this ahead of time, AJ, you look so sour. I didn't mean to be calling you out as a joke. Okay, fine. Anyways, what I'm saying is...
We're all just hungry, Dave, man. It's like we're getting to the 3-hour mark.
I'm hungry too. And I had to do a whole work meeting too. I didn't know we didn't even have fun. But what I was saying is, on my channel, I've started doing this thing. I don't know if you guys subscribe or keep up with it. No obligation, obviously. But if stuff is coming to PSVR and it's out on PC early, I've been kind of testing it out, showing it off, seeing if it's something that you might want to look forward to or not. So when Pangman hits Steam, I will definitely show you guys what Pangman is all about over on my channel.
Excellent.
But that's all.
Yeah, if we don't say it enough, subscribe to Dave at Dave Station VR and AJ over at the Underground, PSVR Underground.
Yes.
Good stuff. I don't know, guys. I think we need to start wrapping this thing up because, as we alluded to, I'm starving. Dude, I've been avoiding MSG for like a week and I'm feeling pretty good, but like I'm dying for some fucking pizza. And like I know my pizza joint just douses that shit with MSG. And I'm like, do I suffer tomorrow and for the next 2 days for an awesome night of pizza deliciousness? I don't know.
Dude, this is crazy, man. This was such a great week. Crisis Brigade 2 was awesome, and the Meatgrinder update was amazing, which added just more to a game that we already loved.
Yeah.
And, next week we've got Dreams. I'm already talking to some people about collaborating with potential, like, snowboarding VR game.
I can't wait to see that happen.
Like,
let's collaborate. a week before release, everyone's like, let's collaborate and make a game. A day after release, everyone's like, I don't fucking know what we're doing here. This is lost.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, Dreams next week, and then the week after that, Pistol Whip, and then we've got more Sony announcements coming soon. We got a State of Play that's rumored for August, and then PS5's going to be coming out later in a couple months. Man, there's just so much going on right now. It's getting crazy. I think it's going to last all the way until the beginning of next year.
Absolutely. I think so too. Let's give a shout out to Joe Grover, the effing game cat. Red Rover. He says, you store your loot in you. Wait, you store your loot in you.
Your Jezball sack. In your Jezball sack.
You store your loot in your Jezball sack, and now I'm in trouble, right? Back under my rock.
No, Jezball jokes are permanently acceptable. Any Jezball joke you want to make.
I gotta look into this. It sounds like it's something I should be familiar with.
I think you've seen it. Once you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, Jezball." I've had this conversation before. It's like Ski Free. You guys remember Ski Free?
Well, we've had this conversation before publicly on the show.
Abominable Snowman at the end. Yes, same deal, same package. Cosmic Pinball or Space Pinball or whatever the fuck it was called, all in the same Windows default games.
I've never seen Jezball before. I'm looking at it now. It looks like Minesweeper, but I've never.
Oh, it's not at all like Minesweeper. Much different.
Yeah, I've never seen this in my life, to be honest with you.
Damn.
I can't wait to see all the stuff in Dreams, man. I mean, it's just luckily they've got some stuff started too that we can see from the developers, which Brian is actually showing on this reel. So at least we'll have something to kind of look at first, and then it'll be interesting to see how far this can go.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be real exciting. Oh, we got another one? Do it up.
He still talks. K-Panic, the Game Cat Dreamer, again, with the $5. Says, meet me in No Man's Later with a meat.
Meat.
Not a
M-E-A-T.
Yeah. Gonna be grinding away for some carbon. Oh, that's a meat grinder joke. Meet me in No Man's Sky, gonna be grinding away for some carbon.
Dave's just getting caught up, but yeah, there we go.
yeah. Well, I was gone for like fucking an hour or something.
You probably missed some of the jokes.
I'm sure. I'll catch up later.
Yeah, guys, we have a lot of cool stuff to play. I'm totally down. Again, this No Man's Sky update for the first time in many updates convinced me to dive back in. It was the first one that made me go, oh man, I really want to play that. Watching the trailer made me interested in it. Playing with AJ made me go, oh, we explored that first ship and we didn't see everything we wanted to see or like get to experience all the coolest stuff. It had like that air of mystery and horror about it, but we didn't actually get to experience any of the horror stuff. So now I'm like desperately want to like jump back out there and get into another ship, and maybe with some of the cats, man. We'll see what happens tonight.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude, I'd love to. After I eat something, I am so down to do that. What's the max limit for those runs? Can you do 4 or 8 people? 4. Okay, I think we can get 4 people together probably.
Yeah.
I think so. I
I
think
just
this.
check in and see where the hell my ship is. I haven't played it in months. I don't even know what I was up to.
I was stranded on a God Cannon planet. This planet discovered by God Cannon. I was like, it's been a long time since I played this. The last time I played it was with AJ, and I'm like, I don't even remember when that was. So
knowing me, I'm probably on Bone Casino. I was always on Bone Casino.
And that's why I have millions of currency, whatever they're called. Because I was able to buy whatever I needed because you had given me tons of ancient bones to sell, which were very, very profitable.
Yeah,
so,
it's a good place to be.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to dive back into that later tonight, I think.
Oh, shit. Steve IRE says Ghost of Tsushima is out to digital or not to digital. Where is it out? Is that Australia? What day is the release date? I thought it was I guess Friday makes sense.
He's in Ireland.
Ooh, I kind of want to play.
Oh, IRE. That makes sense, yeah.
Damn. Okay, I have to wait. I still haven't beaten Last of Us 2. I have to wait.
Yeah, flat screen games, man. Every game I want to play, I play for 20 minutes and then go. That was fun.
The only thing is, I fucking love feudal Japan shit.
Yeah, see, I don't.
I am so interested in this game, and it looks gorgeous. As a flat screen game, it looks incredible. But we don't need to talk too much about that because I know AJ's getting tired.
I can't breathe anymore. Help!
Who's that?
Try and good or $5 donation saying Tornado Kitty Pizza. No, don't do that. Only healthy food for Tornado. Cheers. I would never feed Tornado anything that I would eat because I treat my body like a cesspool of fucking waste and corruption. And I look at Tornado like she's an angel sent from heaven. I'm like, no, we need to preserve your innocence and your cuteness forever. I'll do all the crazy shit to myself. Don't worry about a thing. All right, guys, time to wrap this thing up, man. Thank you so very much to all the cats who were in the chat. Thank you to everybody who donated. Holy crap, man. So many donations today. If we need to remind you, I'll remind you over and over again. Subscribe to Dave at Dave Station VR. Subscribe to AJ at PSVR Underground. Follow AJ on Twitter.
Please.
I've given up on trying to do anything on Twitter.
Do it for yourself.
Just let
It's
AJ
for
do
your
it.
own good.
I don't care. Yeah, but thank you, everybody. Now, obviously, the people that we like to thank all the time are the people who sat back, watched the show, and didn't say a fucking word because I was always one of you before I started doing this, and now I'm a talkative motherfucker. You can't shut me up. And for that, I apologize. I also want to say one last thing. Thank you to every single one of our moderators. They don't get enough love, and they are doing God's work day in, day out over on the Discord, on the YouTube channel, keeping all of you in check. And we really appreciate all of you moderators. Nothing but love. Thank you very much. Thank you, mods. Thank you, cats. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, AJ, for another episode of PSVR Gamescast Live. My name's Brian Paul, and we're out.
Woo, let's go. Because I want to say thank you to Joker over the effing Game Cat. Orseek, I am Orseek. Ross Christopari. Void Cat, gonna see you in No Man's Sky later. David Moore, always a pleasure, man. Decepticon, GG, K-Pack, the K-Panic, the Game Cat Dreamer. Johnny Rabab, the Stray Cat. Stephen Carwell, thank you so much, man. Nick Mulo, Silent Evil 999, Rogue TR. Nick, you don't get two shots, Nick. You're not that special. PSVR
special.
Underground does, though. He's in the chat. Steve IRE, thank you for joining so late, man, over where you are. K27, Asher Holloway. Is there an estimation for how much Swordsman is going to cost? No idea.
$1 million.
Oh my God, that's expensive. The triangulator.
That's an Austin Powers reference, isn't it? Excellent. Tie it all together.
I like when they all laugh.
Says we need Portal 3 and Dreams VR. I agree, and somebody might actually do it. Delirium Drew, shit's cray, goddamn right. Johnny Mold says we need you to make a bloody roar in Dreams, AJ. I agree.
Yes.
Josh Kazaski says Crisis Grade 2 just got a new patch. Oh, breaking news from Josh Kazaski.
AJ, Crisis. You got to make one so good that Brian actually likes bloody, like so good.
Oh my God! Don't make me play those fucking.
I'd have to make it scary.
Games.
I just gotta make it some shitty scary game.
Dude, I like.
Imagine those guys coming at your like, oh my God, this motherfucker's like intense.
Imagine them coming. Meow meow, the gamer
God.
cat. Nick the game cat. Oh, Ingu Farouk. It says based on the logo design, it looks like they want people to read Pang VR with the man inserted to avert the copyright. Yeah. That sounds about right.
Hangman.
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 All right, thank you. Come together with your hands. Fucking not singing anymore. That's it. All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you again. We love you all. Good night.
Later.